headfirst into draft already. What are you thinking, seeing everything that's come out so far, Bully?
Uh, let's see. Yeah, they started draft. They didn't wait for us. She's not strong, but like she started with like a 32% win rate, and at the end of the patch 13-18, she ended at like a 48. So she had like a 60+% win rate for like the last week.
She is a bit strong right now, currently sitting at a 43% ban rate on the patch.
Yeah.
That is absolutely absurd. Along with that,
Yeah.
Queensguard pairing up the Ashe Zyra into the Mystic Cats, who are going to go with that Caitlyn Milio bot side, as well as grab the Jarvan in the jungle. See a lot of bans targeting solo lanes, things like the Veigar, the Tryndamere, the Olaf, and the Azir all being taken respectively, and the Xerath is the lock-in for Mystic Cats.
Yeah, with the Jarvan R1, the Zyra pick, you know, probably going to the support role is a very good anti-engage type champion. And with Jarvan, heavy engage using, the Flag Dragon and then the Cataclysm, there's a good chance that Jarvan will be blown up by even just this Zyra. But to put that together, they end up locking the Yasuo and Ornn R4, B4 and B5. So a lot of frontline, a lot of kiting. Um, I'm thinking that CB, draft is kind of a comp that would work well in theory, but this is going to be IBS, so I want to see how this Briar does. Obviously, she's known as like the in champion, but I don't know how much they actually play Briar.
Yeah, we'll have to see. That's likely going to be heading to I Miss My Dad in the jungle, as Yasuo and Ornn are locked into those solo laners, really putting all the keys into Stay Frosty as they're engaged. Mystic Cats Red, though, with that final pickup, going to be locking in the Maokai.
Let's see. Briar. Oh, they played a Norm 4 days ago.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's something they've been practicing in scrims. Maybe it's something they said, we want to try this out right now. But
So they actually
Briar
played.
throws a lot into this.
Yeah, they actually played quite a bit in 2 weeks ago. They played the Briar. At least it looks like it was like probably 15 times, if not a little bit more. Did have some insane games. One of the games was like a 36-9 game. That was like 17-5. So, the champion is strong. Without hard CC, Briar can go absolutely bonkers. And right now, I don't think the Miscats have drafted a lot of hard CC so far. So, it might be in a rough time.
Yeah, your only reliable CC forms are a possible flag drag from Jarvan. Your only point-and-click option, though, is going to be that Twisted Advance out of the Maokai top for Plug Shrine. And, yeah, with all these drafts coming together, who do you think you're favoring coming into game?
I have to go with CB. Mostly because I feel like the Miscats comp is all out of place. I believe they drafted the Maokai with the R5 pick. But you're gonna expect the Jarvan to go in, the Maokai to go in, and then you're gonna have a Caitlyn Milio in the back line. There's not a lot that the champions can do to keep Briar, Yasuo off the carries. So I expect Caitlyn to get blown up every fight. I expect Sarah to get blown up every fight. It's not cohesive enough for me.
Yeah, there's not really that much cohesion, as you had mentioned. You do have good range there in the Caitlyn
Hmm.
Xerath, but when you have people like the Briar, like the Yasuo, just getting into your back line
Hmm.
through the possibility of the Call of the Forge God of the Ornn, there's not much you can do to keep them safe. Once they go down, there goes your damage, there goes your combo.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that will help enable this Yasuo with the amount of knockups they have. Briar has that like channel knockback, so I could see I can see Juggernaut just like spamming R in these major team fights in the back line because there's a good chance that either Caitlyn and or Xerath will get knocked up at some point, and you know it's never a good time if Yasuo's on top of you.
Exactly. And if you don't want to rely on that Briar there, you do have the Call of the Forge God Horn. That's quite a lot of knockups going to be coming in just to set that up. I'll have to be seeing what Stay Frosty wants to do that is mid lane.
But I will say, Maokai top. I guess we could take a little discussion of this champion. You know, Maokai, in my opinion, is just a much better jungler.
He absolutely is.
Yeah, and I feel like he might be a little bit too mana dependent top lane, and it's gonna probably be in a spot where this Ornn and Maokai will just be going at it head to head. But the Ornn, the early damage from just the Brita procs is just absolutely absurd. So I don't think any of these junglers will actually go top at all. You're gonna expect that bot lane is going to be a big part of contention to make sure Miss Cats can get the priority for Caitlyn Milio. At the flip side, this Briar is gonna try to enable his Yasuo in the mid lane. If Xerath's overextends just a little bit, then it could spell death, and I think it's just gonna be a bot side focused game as a whole.
Oh, absolutely. When you have something like an Ornn versus Maokai up top side, you're not going to have any interactions going on. And assuming both mid laners play as they should, it's going to be really difficult for Juggernaut to make something happen early as the Yasuo intonate on that Xerath. So you'd expect I Miss My Dad and Pedestrian to really look down the spot side to try and influence Ashe versus Caitlyn, especially with the pick potential there from something like the Zyra.
Yeah, in general, if the Xerath actually gets ahead though, this Zyra will probably take half their health bar and damage from 1Q, and that's always fun to see. But right now, CB is sitting at the top of the league, while Miss Cats have been really solid. I know, past seasons they might have struggled just a little bit, but they're actually looking quite dangerous. They're sitting at 2-1. They are currently in like a playoff spot. They had some really good games, but even though I think it might be a little bit rough for them this game, just their overall gameplay and improvement as a whole can definitely surprise us.
As you mentioned, CB Queensguard currently 3-0 in matches, 6-0 in game score, undefeated this season. Mystic Cats Red 2-1 in the match score, 3-3 in the game score. But ever since getting their full lineup together and making the swap to Hauer AD carry, they've looked really solid as a group. We'll have to see exactly what these two teams are able to do against each other. We are going to take a quick break while we head to a spectator delay. When we come back, we're going to review game number 1 of CB Queensguard, taking on Mystic Cats Red. welcome into game number 1 of the night here between CB Queensguard and Mystic Cats Red. CB on the blue side today with Stay Frosty top, I Miss My Dad Jungle, Juggernaut mid, CB Cell, 80 carry, and L Sword support, as well as Mystic Cats are coming in with Plug Shiver top, Pedestrian Jungle, literally Nate mid, Power 80 carry, and Sword of Destiny bot. We have the Battle of the Sword support.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
But all things considered, it'll be interesting to see how these comps play out as things begin.
Oh, okay.
Not
Sorry
too
about
much-
that, Pickle.
You're all good. We
I
just
don't know
have
if you asked me a
standard
question,
five
but the
points
answer
going
is
on right
yes.
now. Yes, the answer to my imaginary question that I did not ask is yes.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Oh, I Miss My Dad is gonna get some gold in their pocket. That is some extra gold for the Briar. 10 gold. Oh, that's a gold diff right there.
10 gold, clearing a ward, game over, go next. But it does look like both junglers will be starting on this bot side, trying to clear up most likely. Getting those leashes from the bot laners and the support.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see if Pedestrian ends up going for like a 3 camp or like a cheese gank with the Jarvan. But it does look like they're just gonna head to their Gromp while I Miss My Dad will take the red buff, and looks like they are gonna path to their prog, so it's gonna be a full clear, I'm assuming, for I Miss My Dad. Pedestrian also most likely doing a full clear, but obviously they can just take that Gromp, go to the red buff, and look for a gank immediately.
You see, I Miss My Dad making good use of that Blood Frenzy, the extra attack speed onto those Prugs down bot, just helping faster clear, getting access to the Chilling Scream, good AoE clear with that pushback. And we can see if we look at a potential bot gank early, it looks like those guys instead opting to just path straight up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a little bit of a lull, especially, actually, in both mid and top, we're gonna see a little bit of lull. Oh, looks like we did see the Jarvan. Oh,
One Berserk comes in mid there, we see the dash in off that head rush.
oh, that's the flag
Pedestrian
by
goes back in, flag right in,
Pedestrian.
knock up off the steel camp. But in comes the Arcana Pulse, going to be blocked up by the wind wall. Mid and jungle of both teams extremely low. And in the end, only things we're losing are the flash off of the Ignite Juggernaut. Meanwhile, topside, we do see the knockup.
Yeah,
Okay,
honestly though,
top lane is very happy to just
oh.
auto pack 450's gas blocks.
yeah, they're just gonna slap each other for the rest of the game, but that's a close fight in the mid lane. If Juggernaut got a kill right there, or vice, oh wait a minute,
On Frosty gets a knockup off the Searing Charge. Nothing to come out though, the broke not yet enough, but Frosty very much looking at kill threat potential topside here. And both junglers
Klug
seem to know it, as they are both in the area. And speaking of, I Miss My Dad going aggressive early and steal away the red buff.
yeah, it doesn't look like Pedestrian was actually able to take the red buff after that skirmish in mid lane, so they have to go back. They're gonna come back to their red and just realize that it was just taken under their nose. In top lane, Klug did have issues with mana. He still has low mana right now. So Stay Frosty's gonna take the opportunity to take him back here. Oh, actually, Pedestrian knew that the red buff was being taken. I'm guessing he got invaded, which I didn't see, but he's gonna go take the scuttle in the bot.
And Steel Tempest knockup coming in. Right now, El Sword just happy to poke away, using those plants off the deadly spines and the warm hugs of Sword of Destiny. Just trying to block up whatever he can, but a dash in with the Steel Tempest off Weeping Blade. Juggernaut getting a lot of damage out here. I would say doing a good job dodging out on these skill shots, but Arcana Pulse does land on him. Top lane
man.
is still a farm fest of tanks.
Yeah, there's a huge wave stacking up topside, and Klug is going to take the opportunity to back here, as they haven't backed yet, and that was good timing because I Miss My Dad was looking for a kill.
And right now, 5 minutes into the game, everybody pretty happy, just farming away, no action occurring aside from that mid lane scuff that we saw earlier.
And
Destrian is coming in mid here. He's looking to get onto Juggernaut. Flag drag, knocks him up, tries to dash away, throws out the wind wall to block any follow-up damage, and is going to dash away and sidestep any potential follow-up.
Yep, Destrian is showing a lot of love to this mid lane, making sure that Juggernaut is going to be on their toes. Literally, Nate does have about a quarter of a minute left. He's going to able to CS this and most likely will take a back here after one more wave. But once they get their lost chapter, once they get their a little more AP, they're going to start doing a lot more damage, as there's not a lot of support damage being done once Pedestrian is able to get there in time, but that might change in a little bit.
And Nate making good usage of the mana surge pass. He is able to stay in lane a bit longer, get some mana back to farm lane as much as possible. I miss my dad though, spotted on that tank, trying to hover the mid lane just in case he actually pushes.
Oh, Nate is actually level 6 right now.
Yeah, he does have that Radiant Arcane available. Is going to throw it out. Juggernaut dashing in, has the knockup available, going to force the Nate to cancel the threat of that knockup into the last breath.
Dragon is actually being started by I Miss My Dad. They will get a little bit of help from Excel and Elsword. They will be spotted though on that Dragon.
Hold on, we see the knockup there in the mid lane goes in. Juggernaut.
Oh, literally Nate will go down. Oh, he's not.
Literally Nate walking away. Pedestrian thrown at the auto force flash away.
Oh.
Mid laners living with a sliver of HP.
Yeah, that's super close. Both literally Nate and Juggernaut almost go down there. Literally Nate was literally one tick away from Ignite by going down. Juggernaut has to flash and flash away and they live. But now they'll both get a good reset. The wave is kind of frozen in mid right now, so it's not like they're going to lose a lot, and we'll just see them fight again another day with probably more jungle ganks in the mid lane.
Absolutely, that's where we've seen all the jungle attention of late.
Yeah.
Note, Acel coming up on this level 6 soon, going to have access to the enchanted crystal arrow. That's where we look for the playmaking to really start to look up.
And back at it again, we go direct camera in the mid lane. Juggernaut is showing a lot of aggressiveness right now, even though they've been targeted. They don't have flash, so another good gank by Pedestrian will probably spell the death of Juggernaut.
Absolutely, especially with the fact that Juggernaut, as you mentioned, down this flash. But Juggernaut just trying to get in, clear these waves as much as possible. Use these steel tentacles and blade surges, sweeping through the wave as much as possible. But Nate, not too shabby on the wave clear department on his own, especially now that he has this lost chapter.
Yeah. Elsword actually took it back here and is now moving towards this Rift Herald. They are pinging it. They want to go for it. So XL should be in a decent spot, but we gotta fight him.
Hold on, we see Juggernaut going in, looking to get onto Nate, dashing back away. Pedestrian's here in the mid lane. Flag drag, not gonna do anything to the autos. Come out.
There it is.
Is there. Autos him down. That's Pedestrian picking up the first blood.
I Miss My Dad is in the area, and it's gonna be spotted out by this. Oh, well.
The sweeper spots him out. They do.
I don't think I Miss My Dad realized it. He was spotted out by a sweeper right there.
Yep.
But finally, after the 6th gank,
finally something
goes
happened
down.
in mid lane. But at the moment, it seems like Herald is the call for the side of CB, as I Miss My Dad already on it. Elsword has rotated off that power and Sword of Destiny. They do what they can to try and push this lane out and get an advantage on the fact that Acel is alone down here as they try and pop down some of these towers.
Yeah, and Howard took quite a bit of damage. Excel is going to be able to. Elsword took it. Pedestrian early smited that as well, and I see the sad face in the alt chat. I think Pedestrian was a little bit scared right there.
Yep, hold on. We do see the Berserk coming out under Clugstriber. Knocks back though from that Bramble Smash. Will peel
honestly,
him away. That's a lot of damage coming out. Pedestrian looking possible to go back in here. Slow comes in, flag drag. The stun on the Juggernaut. He eats a lot of damage here. And knocks him through the wind wall. Means Nate can follow it up with the Arcano Pulse. That's another kill in the mid lane, as I Miss My Dad and Elsword are running for their lives.
Yeah, that's a dangerous fight to take, especially because Clugstriber had the first roam. Even though you had Elsword in the top side, you need to have Frosty be in that fight, and Frosty was not there as they were collecting the wave. So Clugstriber was able to be there just in time, was 3 levels above L Sword, so it's not
Oh,
like.
hold on, it's
Oh,
coming
oh.
in! That is certain death onto Howard as the Berserk is gonna rip him apart. Now turns onto Sword of Destiny, and that's a Cell picking up one of his own as a double kill happens down bottom.
And that's the danger of Briar. And the Rift Herald will be spawned in the bot side. And a couple more plates are going to be secured for this bot side of CB. So the gold will be pretty much evened up here in just a little bit. I guess it will. But, you know, they get a lot more gold than their ADC carry.
Absolutely. Cell now, 1 kill onto that Ashe. As Howard does have the CS advantage, but only a death to his name. While we see the jungle and mid of Mystic Cats being the ones with the advantage right now. Both with that kill and an assist.
Yeah, you kind of expect that CS advantage to be a thing. But the big problem is that Excel was by themselves in bot lane for a good like 3 minutes, and that CS advantage could have been a lot bigger. But Excel wasn't able to get punished enough. Only 1 plate was taken by the bot lane of Mystic Cats, so not a lot lost from the roam of Elsword, but a lot gained.
Hold on, though. We got jungle down bot. May see action coming out here as the mid laners are rotating down as well. Berserk just clearing out this wave. Oh, I miss my dad saying, this is my wave now. We also see Cloaktribe with early rotation down, not wanting to have to wait on the TP, while Stay Frosty still up top. The dragon seems to be the focus here for the side of Mystic Cat.
TP coming in, but pedestrian goes in.
Their Cataclysm instantly in, but the knockback off of that Chop. And there's a big knockup off call the forward gun. Cloaktribe does pick up the first kill, but he's traded back onto his cell. Power's trying to run for his life. Mechanic critical arrow's going to land there on pedestrian. Elsword gets the kill. The chase is coming out, flashing by Juggernaut. The knock away by that ball of fire is not enough, and that is 3 kills going the way of CB. Elsword does manage to escape as Juggernaut blocks the ace in the hole.
Yeah, it seemed like the backline of Mystic Cats were just getting distracted by the rest of the team, and this got melted. The front to back comp of CB with the Zyra, the Ashe that's able to kite. Even though Briar does go down, and I feel like they were just hard targeting, I miss my dad, Excel and Elsword were basically able to free hit, and they basically won in that fight. It was over right after.
Oh, hold on, we see another certain death coming in, but the Berserk takes time. This by tower, and there is the folly of Briar. Goes too deep thanks to the Berserk. Doesn't have that chilling stream to cancel the chase, and will fall in the end.
Yep. A little bit of an it, but you know, you hit that, you have to go in. Oh,
there is no option.
Oh,
there is only Lee Syndrome as Elsword is chunked to hell in a handbasket.
Oh, here's another cube. Oh, just out of range. Imagine if Larry and Nate had their mythic item right there. That's a dead Zyra.
So close. Stay Frosty looking for the chase, but knocked away. Elsword just hobbling on that inch of his life right now. And right now, 14 minutes into the game, gold lead dead even, about 100 difference right now, but it is 2 dragons to none for the side of CB.
Oh, come on, you gotta get that auto. Okay, whew. Whew.
Howard does take the plate in the end.
But look at this roam from Juggernaut. It's gonna be sniffed out with the MIA pings in the mid lane.
But that is the arrow traded out for the cleanse of Power right there. So that is this big summoner spell down. When that arrow comes back, Power could be in danger. But Sword of Destiny obviously has the breath of life.
Yep. And right now, Gold is pretty much even.
Back, Stay Frosty, flag drag, Frost gets away, but he does force the flash out of the Cataclysm, dodge out onto that Nature's Grasp. He makes it under tower, and he will escape with this.
Oh, look what we have in this bot lane. Or in this jungle right now, Excel.
Oh no, you're on a ward, my friend. The root comes out, and certain death is befell Sword of Destiny. Excel takes the kill in the end. Traps behind Howard some space. Hold on, knock up there mid lane onto Nate. Not much coming out. Juggernaut going back in, not coming out of it in the end.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know where you can't back in that bush a lot of times. You know that's a good place to put a ward. And Sword of Destiny takes the death as punishment.
Juggernaut goes and gets the knock, decides against it in the end. The Arcana Pulse going to do a big chunk of damage. Windwall comes out to some blocking. He can knock it again. Not going to go for it, but out comes right of the Arcane, trying to sidestep everything. Juggernaut, he's got those fancy feet as he will walk away with a smile.
I'm pretty sure one more might have secured the kill there.
Chunking out, getting the shield there for the flow of Juggernaut. Really threatening that kill, obviously, now with Leandry's.
Yeah, Nate is pelting Juggernaut with these Qs, and I wonder how much gold they actually got so far from the first strike. It's 355, basically equates to over a kill.
Arrow now dropped mid for Nate with the fact that Juggernaut is low. Looking to get him out of there. Elsword has rotated up, so has Sword of Destiny. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out. Will land on the Sword of Destiny, but no follow-up means he's perfectly okay. But Juggernaut is going to go in. No CC lands as the sidestep the Steel Tempest, and that Shocking Orb means there's no CC and no death.
Yep. You know, looks like we have a little bit of 3-on-3 in the mid lane. Juggernaut is actually taking so much damage in these fights. I like the Rift Herald play in the mid lane. You don't have plates anymore, so the best place to get that turret damage is going to be the mid lane because it opens up the map. The dragon is coming up in about 53 seconds, so you know you need to try to secure this if you're Mystic Cats because you don't want to put CB on Soul Point.
That's not something you want to do. As we look at the timer, 40 seconds until the next dragon comes out. What put them on the Soul Point?
Yep.
As top lane, they can fight as much as they'd like. Nothing's going to happen here unless somebody else is around. But
you know, Cloak Sniper almost took that tower as well, so that might actually go down pretty soon. Of course, I do like the build from Cloak Sniper with the even trad. Just so much damage, so cheap, and it's just the value of the item is ridiculous.
Cheap, affordable, and helps your team out deal a lot of damage. Make sure that Nate and Howard have the ability to pump out that damage. Of course, the one place that is a bit weaker is in this situation here, when you're facing off 1v1 against projection.
Yeah, but not a big deal as long as, you know, they're ready for this dragon fight. In this fight, Miscast need to target Excel. He's currently sitting as on about 6,000 golds total. Second most in the game, right behind literally Nate. So literally Nate does have quite a bit of damage. They have the Leandries. They have
Elsword walks right up to the pedestrian, but no flag drag hits. Excel and Elsword stepping up. Roots go wide.
Oh my god!
Howard throws out a big damage with a headshot, forces the flash away. Excel flashes away as well.
Wait, TP coming in from
start, but as you
Stay
mentioned,
Frosty.
TP coming in there. Stay Frosty, the arrow's going to come out, not land on anything. Looking to follow up, call the force gun, but Nate takes down Elsword for flag dragon in the back line, but that is certain death coming in over the wall. I missed my devil, take out pedestrian. The chase is on, he will jump right onto Nate. That is 2, but traded back as Howard will take down Excel. 2 for 2 right now. Juggernaut looking to continue the chase. Reserve over the wall, the exhaust will come out. The knockback off the Ultra Mega Fire kick means that is out to safety, as that is 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2, but a lot of major ultimates used. Elsword still does have the Strangle Thorns, while Juggernaut has Last Breath, so they have to be a little bit careful of that. Unfortunately, Cloak Sniper was opting to take the turret during that fight, breaking out, and wasn't there, but they're going to be right here, and right behind them will be Pedestrian on the way.
Conan, twisted advance, throwing in some damage. The wind wall is there, blocks a lot of that Nature's Grasp, but Juggernaut trying to get in. He's got that lethal combo stack, no knock up there from Stay Frosty. The knockback, but a big double knock from the Steel Tempest. Juggernaut gets it. He takes down Howard. He takes down Sword of Destiny as well. Juggernaut now keeps going. Pedestrian tries to lift the fight skill, is not going to get it in the end as he will fall there to Stay Frosty. Juggernaut continues the knock. Cloak Sniper running for his life, and it looks like the rest of the season is you can lose your life for now, but a big Arcano Pulse will take down Juggernaut. Dad trying to continue the chase, not in the end though. In the end, a massive fight goes the way of CB as they also put themselves on the Soul Point. Nate continually chunking out with this Xerath, doing massive amounts of damage.
Yeah, it looked pretty good for Miscats as they were able to chunk down Elsword and actually kill Elsword early in the fight. Unfortunately, Stay Frosty, the more proactive one, was able to TP and get that team fight started and then created a 4v4 again. I kind of wish Klug was able to TP a little bit sooner because having that kind of advantage is pretty important to you know, push, especially because that was the third dragon. You don't want that third dragon going over the CB.
And now that is Soul Point available in 4 minutes. Ocean Soul on the board potentially. And looking at how things have been going so far, Briar's just been able to kind of get in berserk and head rush straight through that team. But Nate has been pumping out so much damage from a range
Yeah.
as this Zera. He hurts
Nate is
a lot.
playing extremely well right now, and you know, even though the CB's 3 dragons up, it's gonna be hard for CB to actually keep going for these objectives, especially with how strong Nate gets.
Plugschreiber is going in there up top in the Juggernaut, who is going to just dash away, but the Berserk comes out. Head Rush is knocked away from by that Bramble Smash. Plugschreiber just trying to run, but he does get knocked up there by the Steel Tempest. Certain death will be his fate, as I Miss My Dad will take him down. Stay Frosty, though, calling the Forge God down bot. Nate, you can dodge all you want with these fancy feet, but Stay Frosty's the Forge Lord, but he blocks himself with the Volcanic Rupture, still has the flash to pick up the kill in the end. Kills across the map going the way of CB.
Yeah, with 2 people up top and, you know, just the brawl down bot, I would expect Miscats to do something mid, or try to get this
come in
turret
and
mid.
flag, drag, Cataclysm, throws out that Gorge Ring from the autos are coming up, conquering the stack. Arrow does go wide, and in the end, the ace in the hole will secure it.
Yep. Just giving that over to the Caitlyn, which is pretty important. But so far, bot lane, literally Nate had to face Frosty, which is pretty bad, because Frosty is so tanky that Nate cannot really kill Frosty, and Frosty has so much base damage that squishy Zerath wouldn't stand a chance.
3 members now up here topside. Pedestrian trying to do what he can defending this tower, but he does have Nate and Sword of Destiny rotating up his tower. We'll take this mid lane tower for the side of this. As Sword of Destiny pops back, Mega Fire Kick gets the slow, gets the knockback. Means they do save this tower for now and just buy themselves some time as Howard starts to rotate up.
They will actually get the bot lane tower as well. It was good to not actually.
My dad looking to get on to Howard. Howard kiting back though, getting some good autos out because he's out to safety, using that move speed off the Storm Razor.
Yeah, it was pretty good for Pedestrian not to actually engage on that because the Cataclysm was down, and they're getting so much. They got the mid lane turret, and they're probably gonna get this bot lane turret, so they actually won this trade right here.
Yeah, 2 towers traded for 1 as Stay Frosty with this demolished proc. Likely gonna pick up the tower. There it is. So 2 towers for 1, as you mentioned, going the way of Mystic Cats, but a minute away from that potential Soul or Queens.
Yeah, it's gonna be an Ocean Soul at that, so pretty solid dragon. It's gonna be really unfortunate if Miscats have to give this one away, but with the power they have, I fully expect them to be able to contest this. Elsword is trying to get some positioning onto this dragon pit, but Plugschreiber says, I'm taking the scuttle, we're taking this dragon, and this could be the game deciding fight.
Yeah, big spikes though coming in. Sherelle does now finna cry Miss My Dad. Infinity Edge online for Power. Plugschreiber gets slowed up there by his cell. The autos coming up. But the speed off those warm hugs get him out to safety. The scuttle was secured there by Mystic Cats, meaning that does give them a bit of extra vision in this river when the dragon fight is likely about to start. You see Klug backing out, resetting, getting himself some more items, but no TP, so he may be late depending on when this fight breaks out.
Yep, and most of the gold has been spent, but
right now by the Silence.
Just a note, Excel is sitting on about 1,000 gold, so is Juggernaut. So it's quite a bit of gold that's not being spent so far. Oh, Elsword!
Nate chunking Elsword out a lot, but there's a Berserk, gets the stun off the head rush. Nate trying to get it back away from Destiny, throwing out the autos. Plugschreiber flashes back in, gets onto Elsword, will take him down to Destiny, gets the Cataclysm to drop it, but Elsword not going to be able to lift himself. Big knockup there off the call of the Forge God. Juggernaut will get the knockup, but Certain Death comes in on the Sword of Destiny. Head Rush will lock him down. Exhaust not going to buy him much time. Nate knocked up off that string charge. Arrow will land there onto Plugschreiber. That's a double kill coming in on the Berserk. Now Excel picking up one for himself. The knockup will continue as well, as that is the side of Mystic Cats being ace by CB Queen.
I think Miscats got a little they were looking for that kill onto L Sword because we saw Klug actually go flash and try to kill the L Sword in the back, but that opened the entire team just to get absolutely engaged on by I Miss My Dad, Juggernaut. So while you get the kill, your entire team is vulnerable, and they got split apart that entire team fight, and they lost the fight, and they're gonna lose this dragon. That's gonna be soul for CB.
Ocean Soul now online for the side of CB. Very strong position to be in. 4K gold lead as well.
Yeah, in that fight, Nate and Howard got targeted pretty easily because there's not a lot that was standing in the way of this entire team comp of CB to engage on top of them, and that's exactly what happened. They actually had to blow their flash, and even then, they could not get away.
Yeah, Plug Schreiber looked to get something early. He saw all the damage Nate did to Hellsword, was able to get in and ignite him, and just beat him down to finish him off. But that left the rest of his team exposed. It's a big call the Forge got there. Got onto Howard, got onto Nate, and meant the Juggernaut and I Miss My Dad could get into the back line and just rip them apart.
Yeah, I want to see this Miscats comp actually play more front to back. They need to make sure that, you know, in any attempt to engage on Nate in an hour is going to be, you know, met with, you know, not Stranglethorn, sorry, the Nature's Grasp, or, wait, W's Twist Advance, any kind of CC to try to dissuade CB from hard engaging. And literally Nate, we already saw, can put up a lot of damage. Howard can put up a lot of damage with 2.5 items complete. So they just need to have some kind of survivability for them to actually put up the damage they need for Miscats to win these team fights.
Plug right now trying to run for his life as the reinforcements of CB are coming in. There's the knockup followed up by the last breath. Plug Schreiber gets melted as meanwhile Briar does work on the Sword of Destiny. Looking to him to chase on the pedestrian. He will auto him down, cancel the chase. No longer, but certain death will take him. Chases him. Chases his already dead corpse under the tower.
Yep.
That's a lot of damage coming out from Nate, who will force I Miss My Dad away. Right of the Arcane looking to finish him off. Not going to steer anything. The healing off the Ocean Soul and the killing scream means that the ace in the hole is not enough to finish him off.
You hate to see it because that's actually 1,000 gold that would have gone over to one of these carries.
I admire the attempt there from Brower. Oh, he fails to get over the wall. Juggernaut possibly going to the chase, but those snap traps.
Nah, Juggernaut won't be able to chase enough, but
not going to chase him much longer. And Elsword trying to throw something out. Nate looking for potential poke damage. No, nothing coming out in the end. That is the side of CB just getting away with 5 Barons.
Yeah, and I do. I actually think Miscats could easily win this game. It's going to be a little bit hard now that Briar just scaled up into a monster. But Miscats has shown in this game that they have a lot of very solid plays. I think in game 2, they just got to make sure they keep, I guess, their idea of how they want to play the team fights intact. Because it seems like they kept on getting a little bit scrambled. But if they start playing as, okay, we need to protect both Xerath and our Caitlyn,
maybe in trouble here.
then these fights are gonna
walk away.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna split the map. It's gonna be like a 1-3-1.
In all honesty, with this Baron buff, the leads that have come in, the Fed carries that have come online, it feels like this is all CB's game to lose right now. As Klug Schreiber trying to clear out the wave. Stay Frosty doing a good job with the Baron, just pushing in, threatening to demolish Proc. He is stunned under tower, though. Taking some tower shots. Klug Schreiber looking to go in, throws out the Nature's Grasp. But the tanks are trading back and forth. Nothing really going to come out of this. It's just a good old slap fight.
I mean, these cannon Baron minions are just going to take the tower eventually.
They're going to take this. Elsword, though, gets knocked up with a flag drag. Spanglethorn will disengage, as that's a lot of damage. Ace in the hole takes him down. Pop one in the chamber for Howard.
Oh, but the base is broken in the bot side.
In trouble. Will get head rushed under the tower. The chase continues. A bit too aggressive by I Miss My Dad. Gets the knock away off the chilling scream and the heal. not enough. He will fall.
Red team's
The
turret has
life
been destroyed.
pedestrian is traded. That is worth it for the side of Mystic Cats. They are losing their base at the moment.
Yep, they need to deal with Stay Frosty on the outside. There's a 3 cannon minions hitting that next, and now mid lane is under siege as these Baroned up minions are going to do some work. But on the bright side, they were able to kill I Miss My Dad, getting the shutdown. I believe it was on the Caitlyn.
Yes,
it was at the hour.
It was there on the Howard.
So a lot of gold going over 2 hour. So, you know, there might be some life in this Mystic Cats team.
I admire your positivity. But,
well, let's be honest.
At least one of us has it.
We saw I Miss My Dad, and they were just like gunning for the backline. They wanted kills right
I Miss My Dad is limit testing with this Brawler right now, getting into the backline and just trying to rip as many people apart as he can.
The big thing is like they didn't have like a great early game.
No, they didn't. In fact, CB in general didn't have that strong an early game. Mystic Cats were able to keep it even and even get themselves a little ahead. But around these objective fights is when the side of CB sort of came online. Juggernaut was expecting to get on. The certain death landed there on the Slug Driver along with the mechanics of the arrow. Cataclysm will lock him down. The invulnerability will come in. Flower is traded back, but that doesn't matter as Juggernaut's ripping them apart at the moment. As literally Nate is the last man standing. Elsword not going to come up with those grasping roots, trying to disengage, trying to throw the Arcano Bolt, flash in with that blade surge, throws out the Steel Tempest, and a sweeping blade will spell demise of literally Nate as CB Queens take game number 1 of this best of 3 matchup.
That was, besides, you know, what the score says, 12k gold lead, it was actually a lot closer than it looks. And was like 3-0 at some point.
Yeah.
And then, so honestly, he became like a support champion at the end of the game, just throwing out arrows. But we see literally Nate doing a ton of damage. The damage between Maokai and Orm are just elevated.
That's not real damage. That doesn't count.
They just kept on attacking each other. So, of course, each of them have like 5,000 health, so their damage numbers are going to be amped up. So, but in general, I think the laning phase was actually played pretty well. A lot of the towers going down were, you know, traded back and forth. So not a lot of material given by both sides. The only big thing was the first couple dragons were pretty much free. And then it put Miss Cats in kind of like a sticky situation where they're like, okay, we need to fight this third dragon. And the third dragon fight went pretty poorly. And then they were forced, no matter what, to fight the fourth one. And unfortunately, that started off well, but then ended poorly. And they got kind of scattered, and then they fell into a situation. It was like, oh, now we have to play against Ocean Soul. So a little bit of a bad thing became worse and worse throughout the game. But, you know, maybe small fixes here and there. It's going to be a lot better in Game 2.
Absolutely. CB Queensguard take a 1-0 lead in the series. We are going to head to a quick break while we get the lobby and draft set up for game number 2. When we come back, we'll bring you the second game of the day between CB Queensguard and Mystic Cats Red. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2's draft. Queen CB Queensguard and Mr. Cat's Red. Wait for them to ready up. Though was CB successful in game number 1 on the blue side. Awesome, great Briar play, but honestly, just solid play all around the map between the members of CB. And to give everybody an update across the rest of the IBS scene here at BOL, this is not our only game ongoing. Ape Gaming and Nameless are currently facing off, both teams looking for their first series win. Ape Gaming currently 1-0 in the lead. Barox took a rather strong game 1 against TT Daggers, and SG was just successful in taking game number 1 against Rev Armada. So we'll have to see how all those games are playing out. We are getting ready for the draft here between Mr. Cat's Red and Queensguard. Mr. Cat's Red now on the blue side. Anything you're expecting to change coming into this draft?
Well, I see Star saying that they're going to lock in Ramus bot, so I don't think that's going to happen.
We'll see what's coming out, and what will not be coming out is Briar once again, as that is instantly in the ban phase by Mr. Cats.
Yeah, I think it was just annoying to play against Briar. Yes, Briar was like 10-4 at the end of the game, but in terms of damage, they didn't do as much as we thought they would have done. So it was just, the ability to get to the back line, just basically a global ultimate. They just didn't want to face against that, and they'll take it out this game.
But taking
this
it
time,
out means they have to leave something up that they banned away last time. The champ that they did not ban this time is that Ziggs, something that Cell has shown quite an affinity for, is the ability to stay back, farm, and just
he played that this time.
Enjoy that.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Ziggs is going to be first picked here. It's going to be kind of awkward, but if they have the ability to flex the Ziggs from like either mid to bot, then so be it. It has insane range, but they'll pick the Ashe in this one.
Yep, Ashe picked it from Mystic Cats after Queensguard banned away the Xerath from literally saying, you know what? You did a lot of damage. That was not fun to have to play Dance Dance Revolution to dodge everything. They're going to go against, they're going to decide against that this time, banning that away, leaving the Malphite up that they banned last time. But as you mentioned, Ashe, the first pickup by the Mystic Cats, and the Queensguard are going to have to respond here. Likely going to see whatever Acel wants, and we'll see what else they bring to the table.
Sivir.
As it's just going to be a Sivir comp. It's just a Sivir comp.
Yep. Feels like a Sivir comp. Looks like a Sivir comp. It's probably a Sivir comp.
Sivir, the most prototypical AD carry that loves to fight front to back, get those ricochets through the team, has the spell shield for safety, as well as that on the hunt for the move speed buff, as Viego now picked up for I Miss My Dad, trying to keep him on a carry.
Yep. I want to see what Miss Cat's Red decides to take here. They have some options. They could look for one of their junglers, which I assume they're going to do, and they could either possibly lock in a top that they think is going to get banned, or they're going to, take a support. But honestly, I actually like the idea of taking a top here, because the support matchup is pretty important, and knowing what this Sivir is going to be paired with can be the difference between who's going to win bot lane. And let's be honest, top lane is island.
Top lane is always an island, not too influential, but it looks like they're going to go against your Vast Wisdom, instead locking in the Leona, as it is going to be the Lissandra Hover right now, possibly heading into the hands of Juggernaut, and it is locked in. Seems like a way to just snowball I Miss My Dad.
This is the classic Ashe Leona, just lockdown, just making it super easy to kill one person extremely quickly with the Solar Flare, the Crystal Arrow. They can't move, and this was a big staple a few years ago, and bringing it back, I love it, especially because I love playing this comp as well.
Ashe Leona, as you mentioned, just CC after CC after CC. Solar Flare on top of that Enchanted Crystal Arrow with the Zenith Blade, with the Shield of Daybreak, alongside all the slows from Ashe. You are not moving. Speaking of not happening, we see the Olaf, Ornn, Orianna, and Malphite banned away, as Queensguard will be locking in Cassante, the champion himself, up top lane, Stay Frosty. He has been announced that he's getting a lot of changes into his kit as a mini rework already next patch. So we're gonna enjoy the man that we have right now.
Yeah, and let's see what they end up going here. I wonder if like
Rumble.
the Rumble. Oh, this is spicy. I like
I
it.
want
I
to say
like it
that's
a
going
lot.
top for Klugschreiber. I've seen him on this
It's
Rumble
gonna be
before.
going top.
Yeah, he loves this pick, and he's done a lot of damage, brings a lot of AP to the table. Red carpet on top of a Cataclysm is going to melt through whoever you want to deal with. Something to
Yeah,
note for
especially
Queensguard here, they still haven't picked what we think is their support. What if this is a Lysandra flex?
It could be, but the Syndra coming out as well. This comp from Miss Cat's Red is looking quite lethal. You know, they have the front line. They have the ability of the Jarvan like a bruiser front line with Leon as another tank.
It's the Lysandra support.
It's a Lysandra support.
Oh, I'm happy. As Vizier locked in here for Juggernaut, the Emperor of Shurima will be facing off into Syndra mid. Leona and Ashe now having to deal with Freljord down bot in Lysandra. That Ring of Frost is just going to be there to say, Leona, if you ever try to Zenith Blade in, I am just going to boot you and walk away.
This is gonna be an interesting game, but I actually much prefer the Miss Cat's comp. You know, Lysandra support kind of crazy, but
We've
in general,
seen it before in pro play as a response to a Rakan, but this
Yeah.
is not a Rakan, and most
It's a Leona.
importantly, Elsword, I love you, but you are not Mickey X.
True. But the thing I love about this Mr. Cat's comp is just it's so straight play. Like, it's so easy to play these team fights because all you have to do is either look for a pick with the Ashe Leona. You get the Cataclysm. If they get engaged on you, you could just use a Syndra, Scatter the Weak to dissuade that, and then you just have the red carpet to kill everyone in the middle of it. And you have so much damage with this comp is that if you catch one person, they're gonna die almost instantly.
Yeah, absolutely a lot of pick potential there between the Lysandra, between the Ashe, and just so much damage to come out on top of that from the red carpet. We'll just have to see. Sorry, not the Lysandra, the Leona and the Ashe, alongside the Cataclysm, alongside the Scatter. The one thing is, if you are a Queensguard, your best friend is named Merktreads in this game. Because that is a lot of CC, and there's a lot of magic damage between the likes of the Rumble and the Syndra.
You know what? I wanted one of these mid laners to play Yuumi. They didn't. Very disappointing.
Oh, you wanted literally Nate to bust out the undefeated perfect KDA Yuumi mid?
You know, if he does actually have a perfect win rate, even if he played one game on Yuumi mid, I would be extremely surprised. He does. So, I feel like that's the most troll pick, and I'm pretty sure if you play that mid, you'll probably get reported 50 times in that game.
Yeah, well, 450 times doesn't matter if you've got the perfect KDA. But all drafts now decided, I think we're both relatively saying we like what the side of Mystic Cats is bringing to the table more than what Queensguard has. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, as Queensguard has usually shown in the past in their previous games that they just have the ability to outplay teams all around. Mystic Cats in the early game last time was capable of going 1v1 with a lot of these members. So I'm curious with what we think is a draft advantage for Mystic Cats, if they're going to be able to handle it.
Who's your pick for this game, Pickle?
It's tough because I like what Mystic Cats has as a comp, but I don't know if I can bet against an undefeated team in Queensguard right now who has just looked really good all around, especially with I Miss My Dad on so much comfort like this Diego.
You know, I'm actually going to go with Miss Cats this game. I think they're just going to hand CB their first loss.
That'd be fun. I would very much like to see that happen. I think it'd be really fun if that happens, but I cannot bet against an undefeated team right now that has just looked good in all their games so far. So I am going to be sticking with Queensguard, even if that is the board.
Sounds like we need a friendly wager.
Speaking of wager, you can wager with channel points.
True. Actually, I think the oh wait, it's a little bit left, about probably a couple of minutes, but I guess we are going to the client direct. Finally, we were sitting here talking and rambling like robots, but um, for this is my opinion for Miss Cats to win is that they need to look to get this Leona unlocked. Unlocked meaning the ability to move from the bot lane to the mid lane and not having your ADC Howard get dove all the time. You get this by you get a little bit of jungle help, you get a kill onto the bot lane. You have the ability if you get your bot lane ahead, and once they hit level 6, they're just gonna be able to just roll over CB's bot lane. On the flip side, if you're not able to get this Leona lane ahead, it's going to open the lane or the game for Lissandra to make the roams as well. So a lot of CC, a lot of roam potential. It's going to be a bot lane game. I feel like Klug should be fine in the top lane. It is a Rumble, and Rumble does a crap ton of damage. So I don't think it's going to be need a lot of help. But if they have the ability to make a play top lane to get a kill or a flash down on the Cassante, then pretty good play. But I want Pedestrian to focus spot lanes in this game.
Yep, Pedestrian looking to focus bot lane. I'm
Yes!
interested to see what
Yumi.
I miss. The Yumi hover. It'll be interesting to see what I miss my dad is able to pull out, as he's really been the carry threat usually for the side of CB. And once again, on one of these carry style junglers like the Diego, if he can get rolling, that can get really dangerous for the side of Mystic Cats. But we do have drafts all set up. They are getting it into client draft and then heading into a spectator delay. So when we come back, we're going to be bringing you game number 2 of the night between Mystic Cats Red and CB Queensguard. ladies and gentlemen, welcome into our second game of the night here between CB Queensguard and Mystic Cats. Red sides have now swapped. Mystic Cats on the blue side, CB on the red side. CB currently up 1-0 in this series. Action will begin as we do have the interesting pick of the Lysandra support coming out here. Or else.
To Summoner's Rift.
Yep. Honestly, it does not seem very it doesn't sound like it has a lot of synergy with the server, but who knows.
30 seconds
But
until
right now it
minions
doesn't look like we have a
spawn.
lot of shenanigans. Kind of a standard 5-point, but not really from the side of
A
CB.
standard-ish 5-point.
Standard.
Nate
Oh,
throwing out the Dark Sphere, getting a
first
bit
strike.
of money coming in from the first strike. All right, go next. That's 13 gold to Nate.
that's 14 actually.
Oh, 14. Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, we saw in game 1, we saw I Miss My Dad get the ward, get a gold advantage, and look at that, CP won.
Yep. With
Now,
that, they won the game. So this time, that means Mystic Cats in the game. You heard it here,
Exactly.
folks.
pretty much standard buys across the board. You know, nothing too shocking, but I imagine the first point of action we see is going to be in the mid lane. But because why not? Because we saw it in mid lane for the first 10 minutes of the game in game 1.
Absolutely. You see Nate going for a bit more aggressive style this game. The Ignite swaps sides to himself as opposed to Juggernaut, who had it last game. You see a Cell running the cleanse this time when dealing with that Ash Arrow. And Elsword going with the Aftershock on the Lysandra instead of a bit more burst damage focused with an Electric, going more tank focused. So we might just be seeing that Evan Shroud.
Yep. It looks like Klug is opting for, you know, he's going to CS and trade at the same time. The beauty of the Flame Spitter on bot side is going to hit level 2 quite soon. But, oh, wow. A lot of damage in the mid lane.
Nate throwing out a lot of early damage there with the Syndra, getting the Scatter of the Week early and really chunking Juggernaut out. Having the availability of Ignite means he does have that kill threat if he ever gets low enough. And with Pedestrian being on that Jarvan, level 2, level 3 ganks are an extremely strong possibility. But I Miss My Dad is hovering around mid so far right now, as he wants to make something happen, possibly looking to blow an early
Yeah,
start.
but Juggernaut's so
Throws
low.
out that Harrowed Path. Juggernaut is forced back, and that means I Miss My Dad not going to be able to make anything happen.
Yep. Pedestrian is hunting for I Miss My Dad. Pedestrian actually decides to just go look in the...
Stay Frosty,
Push
though,
to see
going
where it goes.
aggressive here. Sidesteps that Ntofo strike. It's knocked back by the Pathmaker, but
Flame
this
Spitter's
damage
up.
is coming out. The Flame Spitter is here. Cloakstriver burns him down. That's a first blood to the Rumble top.
Yeah, I mean, he can't go aggressive like that. Rumble is going to out-damage you at this level, especially getting overheated. So it's going to force the TP. Cloakstriver gets first blood, has a lot of gold pocket, and it's going to be able to shove this in. So it's going to get a
My
good
Dad's
back
up
off.
top here looking to make something happen, but Pedestrian is also in the area. Flag, drag, knock up. The Electro Harpoon slow. Cloakstriver burns him down, as that is now a 2-0 Rumble.
It's a 2-0 Rumble. It's going to back with 1,200 gold. It's going to have a big item advantage, and that's exactly what you want to see from the Mystic Cats to start this
Yeah,
game.
enjoy your free 3-minute Sork Pen boots.
Yeah. What? Oh my god.
I don't think Frosty's going to have a good time here.
Nope,
As Nate
but look at mid lane right here.
continues to punish mid lane. The Scat of the Week on top of that.
Larry Nate's gonna go for the kill here, and he's gonna get the
Ignite's
kill.
Here, the burns coming
Oh,
in,
wait.
but the shield there from the shifting stands is enough to keep Juggernaut alive.
Yeah, I think Nate thought he was gonna get the kill and decided to back off and didn't like actually follow up that kill. So it's unfortunate. Does get
Frosty
Just
going
shove in.
aggressive here. And this is just painful. Look at all this damage. The Flames
Frosty
comes out.
is taking so
Frosty's
much
low.
damage.
The overheat is there. Cloakstriver's available. Electro Harpoon flash. And the Comet! That's a 3-0 Rumble.
Yep, and oh, but Klugschreiber doesn't have flash, but you know I Miss My Dad's
Doesn't
kind
even
of.
need it. He's just gonna walk
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, honestly, Klug could have won that against I Miss My Dad if I Miss My Dad did win. So
Houston, we have a problem. And it is a 3-0 Rumble 4 minutes into this game, as Klugschreiber is looking to take over this game right now.
yep, and it's just gonna be able to you know walk back into lane. He's got a little bit more AP under their belt. Stay Frosty. is in a pretty dangerous position. Actually, opts to get the null magic mantle for a little bit of MR, but I don't think that's gonna help you.
Not much, and Nate has been doing a good job controlling this mid lane, getting himself a bit of a CS lead, and even despite going Ignite versus the TP, not losing in that early lane advantage because of that kill threat he had early. And these Darksteers are just doing so much pedestrian in the area. Flag drag is going to be dashed away from by that shifting sands. Well played by
That
Juggernaut
was
to get out the
super
gate.
close.
Extremely close.
Yep. But a lot of damage being dealt in the Juggernaut already. So Larry Nate will hit level 6 and just did. So it's gonna be threatened with the kill top side.
Electro
Or
Harpoon's already
the mid
chunking
side.
him out. If you are Stay Frosty, how do you handle this lane now that it's a 3-0 rumble?
You're gonna have to stay under tower basically.
Yeah.
It-
Elsword trying to roam up, clear out some vision, maybe looking to make something happen mid. Sword of Destiny matching that roam, clearing out vision in the river with the Scryers. Even spots out I Miss My Dad. Let's Krugschreiber know, hey, you are completely fine up top. There is no threat of that 2v1. Howard
Oh,
stepping up.
Howard
hits
is
this blow.
going
Lost
aggressive.
vision in the bush, but in comes I Miss My Dad bot. Throws out that harrowed path to get in. Not able to get the stun though. Flash in by Sword of Destiny. Forces out the flash of I Miss My Dad. Slows, not going to be enough as the vision is lost in the bush. That is the flash of Sword traded for the flash of Dad.
Oh,
Scattery
is this gonna
coming
be
in,
Juggernaut go
drops
down?
That Juggernaut dashes in, throws
Oh.
out the sand.
Oh, what is
The
that?
Emperor's Divide, not enough, as that means literally Nate picks up the solo kill. This is all of the solo lane, but hold on, knockback under tower. It's Cassante Gaming
Oh.
as Stay Frosty. He don't care if you're 3-0. He will pull you back and kill you down.
You don't expect that to happen, and that 600 gold shut down going over to Stay Frosty. Klugschreiber a little bit too aggressive right there, gets punished for it. In the mid lane though, Larry Nate getting a solo kill onto Juggernaut. And Juggernaut, the worst part about it is Juggernaut could just flash down, probably got away.
Where's the
but Ops
where's the
take that fight.
Showmaker copy pasta when you need it? But hold on, in comes bot side. I Miss My Dad looking to get some damage out. Throws out the glacial path. Not gonna be enough as Howard's looking to trade back there onto himself.
Yeah, and I
And
think
we
they're
see
actually gonna look for a
Pedestrian
dive here,
making
but
his way down, looking to try to match it.
Pedestrian is gonna be here
The
soon.
dive's looking to come in. Elsword looking to come in. Flash Ring of Frost will take down Howard first. But I Miss My Dad and Elsword are low. The flag drag comes under. 2-for-1 traded. The dive is too much as Mystic Cats turns it around.
Turns it around, and Sword of Destiny actually picks one of those. So, you know, a little bit too aggressive. You're not that strong. You don't have level 6 on the Lissandra, which would make that dive a lot easier to accomplish. So, you know, Miss Cat's sitting pretty with a 1.6k gold lead. Mid lane and top lane going extremely well. Bot lane, you know, is going kind of poor, but having those two soul lanes being extremely strong is very good for them.
Really is extremely good for them. Puts them in such a strong position. I Miss My Dad with that Herod path does manage to force Nate away from that mid lane tower. But
I don't know why he actually used his Herod path right there, because he just gave away his location.
yep, and both supports now roaming up, looking mid, looking to potentially rotate up to this Herald. And with Nate having complete mid prio and Klug having complete top prio, this is a free objective for Pedestrian if they want it.
Yeah, you cannot fight the Miscats right now, especially because the Equalizer is coming up, the Unleashed Power is up, and so it's just going to be a losing team fight if you're CB. So good take on his Herald. I expect him to try to use this to continue to snowball one of their carries. I'm going to assume it's going to be Larry and Nate, because you get a Syndra a little bit more ahead. That Syndra is going to one-shot one person off the map.
Yes, a Fed Syndra is dangerous to deal with. And Acel and I Miss My Dad and Elsword right now, they decide, let's trade the objective. The volley, good attempt there by Howard, not going to do anything. Objective traded across the map. Herald goes to the Cats. Queensguard picks up the Dragon.
Yep, this is going to be a trade, and honestly, the first Herald is still stronger than first Dragon.
It's rooted up there by the ring of Frost trying to walk away. We do see the fact that Aegis catches him. Nate flashes away.
Wait,
Out of the week
he's gonna go
with the unleashed power, and that will burn him down again. Nate turns around the 3v1 and says, "Come at me with more. I dare you."
Yep, with just a little bit of help from Howard, but a lot used as well. The Flash was used from Juggernaut, the Emperor's Divide was used, and then also the Heartbreaker was used to no avail as they didn't wait out the Flash. They knew the Flash was up, and they just got bamboozled. Juggernaut goes down, will actually lose another play in the mid lane.
Yeah, Juggernaut loses another plate. Nate putting on a clinic mid lane right now. 20 CS, 2 solo kills himself. Now 4 kills on that Dark Seal. That's a phenomenal performance on the Syndra. Just picks up the Ludens as well. He has the potential to take over this game. Plugschreiber, though, up top now, picks up a very early Demonic Embrace, gets the burn going. Bit of health for himself means he's going to be tough to deal with as well. Both these solo lanes are trying to take over the game.
Yeah. I want to see Pedestrian actually make his way towards mid lane because Juggernaut does not have Flash. Not only that, you have the Herald. Getting that Herald charge mid, opening up that mid turret is extremely important, especially because you're going to be able to get a little more deeper vision. You're going to be able to use your tools, your pick tools, a lot more effectively. So not only would you get more gold onto Larry Nate, but you'd open up the map. You'd probably kill Juggernaut as well for the 3rd time.
Yep, that would set this as you're so far behind. Elsword hovering around mid right now. So right now, no action really happening on the map. Herald, though, is summoned down bot, trying to get Howard some gold in his pocket, saying, okay, my solo lanes are fed. Let's get my AD carry some gold into this action as well.
Yep, that'll be 2 plates. Looks like Larry Nate was making room down, but opted not to. Miss My Dad will take some of the CS in mid lane. It's just going to take so much damage. At least power.
Scat of the week coming in. Slide in by Juggernaut. Nothing coming in. Big shield comes in there by itself. Blocks out onto the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Pedestrian drops the Cataclysm. Elsword buys some time with that Glacial with the Frozen Tomb.
Oh, but
it's going to take out
gotta be a little
Elsword,
bit
but
careful here.
Estel's strong here. The ricochets are coming through, and that will be Sword of Destiny drop. Pedestrian goes back in, will trade it back onto Estel. 2 for 1 goes the way of the Mystic Cats at the end. Even though the play looks a bit sketch, it still goes their way.
Yep, and now that means all lanes are actually ahead. In AD carry, it's about 50 gold lead, but, 50 gold lead is still a 50 gold lead.
It's definitely a 50 gold lead, still exists. Sivir, of course, does Sivir things, farms up pretty damn well, so able to keep that even, give themselves a CS lead. The story of this game is solo lanes for Mystic Cats. Plugschreiber and literally doing this work early, picking up solo kills, getting themselves their advantages, and that means the rest of Mystic Cats, that means Pedestrian can focus down onto Howard and Sword of Destiny, unlock them, get them their own advantages, and just have a winning map.
Yeah, I think a lot of this game kind of was attributed to Klug getting an early lead because it felt like Juggernaut felt the pressure to do something mid. It felt like bot lane had the pressure to do something.
Well, Frosty goes in, knocks him back with the Passmaker. The Impofos are doing work, but these Electro Harpoons with the Flame Spitter, the all-out pulls Frosty back. Plugschreiber looking to fight and dodges out in the end thanks to that.
Yeah, but a dive is going to come up top lane.
Oh, yeah, they're looking at him. We see the flag drag available. Nate, though, gets the stun there onto Juggernaut, not going to land that Dark Sphere. And Frosty is running for his life, forced to flash away. And that means that top tower is in a lot of danger right now. Already chunked out, and it looks like it will be the first to fall on this map.
Yep, and just like that, the entire first 14 minutes, CP only got 1 plate that entire time. So... Oh, wait.
Hold on, TP back top by Frosty. They want fighting.
But Frosty
here.
doesn't have
There's
their ultimate.
Slow coming in by the Intofo. Plugschreiber gets in the flash spectral. No, I'm not going to land anything. As Pedestrian and Plugschreiber are going to flash away, get out to safety. So TP flash traded for a double flash. The Mystic Cats.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting play because they didn't have the ultimate on the Frosty. I Miss My Dad is not particularly strong. So that could have gone very negative if Pedestrian turned that around with the Cataclysm still up. but that seemed like a desperation play at that.
It really did. It seemed like they were trying to say, okay, we need something to get us back in, something to keep somewhat even. But hold on, Elsword stepping up, Sword of Destiny sitting this way.
Whoa!
Flag, drag gets in, arrow goes wide. Bugschreiber
Oh,
has
Excel
walked
is
down.
in.
Excel pops the on the hunt to get away, but a flag drags Belsis' demise. Power picks up the kill, and this dragon is firmly in the control of Mystic Cats.
Yep, and they're gonna get only. They're probably gonna take this top tower, I would imagine. But Juggernaut actually hasn't pushed the mid wave in, so they're not gonna even get a little bit of damage off the mid wave.
And the
I'm
TP there coming up from Bugschreiber to answer this top tower means that it cannot be taken there by Stay Frosty. So that is a dragon and a kill, and nothing really goes across the map for the side of Queensguard during this.
Yep, and pedestrians making their way towards this Rift Herald, but
Oh,
just
Elsword, you are on a ward, my friend. You're clearing it, but
Uh-oh.
the pincers of Mystic Cats are coming in. The Glacial Path is not quite there.
Uh-oh.
Scatter the Weak comes in, and there's the Unleashed Power. Nate with another solo kill to his name.
yeah, just easy pickings. I don't think this Lissandra support pick is working out. I'm just gonna say it right now. But this looks like a completely different game from this Cats. Their early game was phenomenal. They were able to gain a lead. Right now they're sitting at the 5k gold lead. And it's not like they're a threat. There's a dragon stacking threat because they were just able to take the second one. So this game is honestly their game to lose.
Oh, this is in complete control of the Mystic Cats right now. And you mentioned this Lissandra support. Something to note, they're going, instead of the Evan Shroud build, they're going for the Everfrost. So they're losing a lot of that tankiness, trying to get a bit more damage. When you're behind like this, you're just going to get popped more. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is just going to go through the uprights, not going to land on anything. As this Herald is dropped mid, looking to get onto the tower, break it open even farther. There goes the red carpet, Scat of the Week on top. Juggernaut flashes away, but is burned
Oh wait,
down.
Elsword!
He's trying to get away. Elsword drops the Frozen Tomb to buy himself time, but that is just death incarnate. Frosty goes all out. Pathmaker's in, knocked back, pulls him in, and Tofa's away, trying to work out, but he will fall as Klugschreiber picks up another, and this is all Mystic Cats right now.
If you're CB, why are you even attempting to defend a 25% health tower against a Rift Herald that's gonna one-shot it, and knowing that you're gonna get engaged on?
You ask a very good question that I do not have an answer for.
Yeah. Oh, Nate does have.
Nate again! Scatter the. He unleashes that power. His fully stacked Dark Seal now online, and Nate is showing why his Syndra has become an absolute menace this
Yeah,
season.
I mean, just in general, this in first game as well, Nate was doing very well. This game, without like them falling extremely behind and the whole map flourishing, you can see the power that Nate is providing this team. The Unleashed Power is doing pretty much 70% of the health of one of these squishies, and then they're able to hit a lot of these Scatter of the Weeks, opening up the opportunity to engage.
It really isn't. The engages are just going their way. They haven't even needed that combo of the Cataclysm into the red carpet because it's just not been necessary. They've just been able to burn them down anyways, and it's just leads all across the map now. The Magi's has been purchased by literally Nate as he looks to turn this lead even farther. And there's a Scat of the Week into a Dark Spear. He is chunking out Juggernaut like there is no tomorrow. Juggernaut cannot step near this wave as there's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto a cell. He is stunned down. He had Cataclysm out, flashes away, but he is taken down. That is 2 more kills. The Dark Sphere not going to come out as there's the Solar Flare. Going to force I Miss My Dad back as this tower is being shredded by the Mystic Cats.
Wow. So right now we're sitting at almost 10k gold lead, 17-3 in kills. This is completely one-sided, and I don't think you expected that, but I did.
I have not. I Miss My Dad going in under the pedestrian, dodges out of the flag drag, gets out through the harrowed path, but this red buff is just taken away by Howard and pedestrian. And the jungle now belongs to Mystic Cats. We are 20 minutes into this game. This is a 10K gold lead. This is a stomp. No team this season has been able to deal with me, and Mystic Cats isn't just dealing with them. They are smacking them into the ground right now.
Yeah. Whew. And I think it's time to talk about game 3 because we're definitely in game 3.
We're going to need it right now. Luckily, that Scryers is going to scout out the Death Bush that Mystic Cats had prepared as they are threatening this Baron Dragon spawning in 5 seconds. They've brought Nate up. Meanwhile, Juggernaut still down bot. Does have that. Nate dodges out on the Spectral Ball, flashes away, barely gets out to safety. Scatter the Weak not going to land on him, but he gets onto his cell. Lands the Enchanted Crystal Arrow there onto Elsword. They're ignoring him and running right past him. His cell was flashed on top of it and burned down by that Flame Spitter. Nate picks up one onto Elsword. That's the bot duo of Queensguard demolished, as it looks like they're calling for the dragon right now. And it seems like Juggernaut trying to push this wave down bot, getting whatever they can. Howard looking to chase on I Miss My Dad, but he's running to safety. Nate just split pushing right now. I think the only way you can describe this is a rage push.
I mean, you can't really do anything at this point if you're Juggernaut, so he's just decided to try to get pulled.
Hi, Nate. And that is Nate just popping Juggernaut as he says, "You do not exist. This is my lane. This is my map," as Nate demolishes Juggernaut.
The worst part about it is that that tower was literally one hit, and that one hit would have been a bounty and 600 gold for Juggernaut. So just getting denied that is so unfortunate.
It really is unfortunate. That would have been a nice little bit of gold coming into the side of CB. But no such luck.
I mean, if you look across the board, everyone on the Miscats pretty much has 2 items, besides Howard and, of course, Sport Bud. And everybody on CB only has 1 item and, like, components of a second one. So it's pretty much 1 entire item advantage for the Miscats, for each member.
It really is. And Nate sitting on 20 stacks of that Magi's. So much AP to his name. Alongside likely that fully empowered Syndra passive due to those splinters, getting the extra 20% alongside the execute on that ultimate. Combo from Nate will literally blow everybody on the side of Queensguard.
Yeah, and
Except
if you
maybe Frost.
I mean, if you're able to like catch Nate, then you have to deal with Klug. You have to deal with Howard.
I don't know
like,
if you want to catch Nate. A Scat of the Week there forces out the on the hunt. The arrow does go wide, so nothing comes out of it. But it feels like Queensguard cannot be on the same side of the
How many wards are in the pits? My God! See me put 3 wards in the pit.
City right now.
Vision City or a free gold? Like,
Exactly.
they're like, you know,
It's
they're
just
10K
money.
up on
It's
us. Might
just
as well
money,
give them more
money,
gold.
money. Elsword over the pit. Maybe in danger. Flag, drag, cataclysm. The stun off the Scat of the Week means he cannot take that glacial path to safety, as that is the support of Queensguard down. Frosty trying to get on the Klug Schreiber. The Jack Shows is powered up, but Klug just does so much damage right now.
Yeah, and you know, the entire time Klug was able to get a little bit more soul XP, and then
Not clearing out some wards. Dark Sphere
Uh-oh.
Scat of the Week. There's the force of will into the unleashed power. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. This is Nate the Great territory right now. 25 stacks on that Magi's.
yeah, and I think CB is just gonna, I would say, slowly bleed out, but like they're about to
There is
cut open
nothing
an
slow
artery, and
about
then
this
they're just gonna bleed
right
out
now.
because at this point, I don't see how you defend against
You
this
don't.
comp.
Like, I very rarely say this game is over, but this game is literally just done. This is a 12K gold lead 24 minutes into the game. Like, they're sending 5 members down to try and pick Klug Schreiber.
And it's not gonna even work.
Looks like they're possibly gonna get. Oh, there's a Ring of Frost through. With the Everfrost follow-up.
Okay, maybe it will
Frost
work.
red carpet clear the wave, and the Frozen Tomb means that he will fall in the end. And
I mean, you
that
get the
is a big
shutdown, but you
shutdown.
lose Baron, and you're gonna have to defend against Baron.
Yep. Is it worth it is the question.
I mean, you have to do something. So it's either try to get the shutdown and get the limited gold to possibly do something, or you just give up Baron for free because it's not like they can contest that either.
Blue team has slain Baron Nashor.
This Baron totally uncontested. Did go in their way. Dragon up in 50 seconds, if the side of Mystic Cats even wants it.
Yeah, I just noticed. I realized Juggernaut actually went Conquer with this Leandri's Nashor's build. I
Interesting.
thought you were supposed to go lethal tempo with this,
Red team's turret has been
but
destroyed.
in my opinion, in my ARAM games, I hate this build. I feel like I do 0 damage.
With all due respect, Bully, he could have picked whichever damn keystone he wanted this game. It's not making a difference.
Oh yeah. I mean, the minute Nate got ahead, it was just over in mid lane. It was just so hard to play against a Syndra.
Yep, and I missed my dad trying to get to the scuttle, but it's just taken there by Pedestrian. And they're clearing out this vision, saying, we could push for the end if we wanted to, but we're just going to take this dragon, because why not get even more money?
Yeah, they're
in our
actually playing a lot slower than I thought they would with this. I don't think they
They're
realize they
playing
have
very slow.
2.3k gold lead right
Shannon
now.
Crystal Arrow not going to land on anything. Hail Mary coming in. Elsword goes in. TP coming into the back. There is the Frozen Tomb in the back line. Cataclysm comes out. Nate instantly pops Juggernaut. I missed my bad. Tries to get a reset. Not able to get it, though. Howard takes him down. And there are 2 of the carries from CB.
Oh!
Drops the
Elsword
red
is
carpet.
just dead.
Elsword being melted. Saves the glacial path away.
Yeah.
And falls in the end. Estelle trying to back in the bush, but it looks like he has been spotted by the ward and by Klugschreiber. And that means he is sentenced to death, as this is Mystic Cat's complete domination over the undefeated CB Queensguard.
Yeah, I mean, Klug didn't even hit an Electro Harpoon right there and just killed him with the Flame Spitter. So, that pretty much sums up this game.
What sums up this game is the word one-sided. 26-4 in kills. Nearly a 15k gold lead 27 minutes into the game.
Dang. And, I mean,
Look at the damage of Klugschreiber and Nate compared to everybody else in this game.
everyone on CB
The
had
next-
less than 10k damage in this game. While Klugschreiber
Everybody
and
else
Nate...
had less than 10k.
Yeah, I mean, Klugschreiber and Nate did more damage than the entire CB team did combined. So that will tell you how fed they were, how strong they were, how impossible this game ended up being for them at the end of the game.
I mean, to give you an idea, I missed my dad on the Viego, the champ we were looking at to possibly carry. Almost did less damage than Sword of Destiny on the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like he couldn't get the game going because what happened is early game, you see your top laner pretty much dying, and then I miss my dad actually went and died as well. Top lane was going poorly, mid lane was going poorly, and then bot lane was going all right until a solid gank from Pedestrian put them into an even state and even a small advantage after a little bit. So they had no priorities. They didn't have priority bot, mid, top, so they couldn't really play the game. They didn't know which lane they could play off of because in reality they couldn't play off of any of one. So they did not have the best early game. They couldn't get anything going. They were just pretty much starved out of all their resources. So it was just unlucky game for them.
Yeah, there was nowhere you could really play through. Because, as you mentioned, the solo lanes just got dominated in the 1v1s. You had Klugschreiber getting a solo kill, you had Nate getting a solo kill. And that just set them ahead so much that Pedestrian could focus down bot, and that was all that mattered. And they could get every lane ahead, and they just completely took over the game.
Mhm.
But with
And
that...
yeah, we're going to a game 3.
Yeah, we are going to a game 3. Before that, I think both these teams should consult their coaches.
Yeah, I think CB is consulting Dory. Dory's probably yelling at them, but Miss Cat's handing CB their first game loss of the season, week 4.
Yep. Congrats to them. And speaking of consulting your coaches, if you're looking for great coaching,
Hey.
at what?
I don't think they want congrats just yet. They want to take this home. They want to get this 2-1 victory.
Oh, they absolutely want to look to close this out. They're not happy just taking a game off of CB. They want to take the whole series out. They want to end the only undefeated team streak. They've already taken the game. They want blood. They want the series. They want more. And
But yeah, what were
speaking-
you saying about coaches and IBS and getting
what-
better?
Of course, what I was saying is if you're looking for a place to get any sort of coaching, you can check out the sponsor of Season 10 here at BOL, Coachify.gg. They're a new platform for esports coaches with 0 commission. Sign up is absolutely free, and anyone can create a public profile, even somebody as low elo as Dory. For more information, type !Coachify in chat. Check them out. Send them a big thanks from all of us here. You can find coaches of elos. You can sign up to coach. You can sign up for lessons there. So much can occur over at Coachify.gg. We need to send them a big thanks for helping us out here at BOL.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know what? I mean, if you're a coach as well, they did give us the opportunity to give out $250 in prizes to coaches from BOL, as long as you have a profile with Coachify.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, so how about all coaches? Go ahead, sign up on your profile. Make your profile over at Coachify.gg and help your team out further and increase a potential prize pool.
Well, it goes to the coaches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For yourself, that'd be
For
great.
yourself.
Push your team further, make a little extra pocket change. Not too bad, not too shabby. But yeah, with that, we are going to be heading to game number 3. We're going to take a quick break as we get into the lobby, as we get into draft. When we come back, we're heading to the 3rd and final game of the night between CB Queensguard and Mr. Cat's Red. All right, welcome back, everybody, once again to game number 3's draft tonight between CB Queensguard and Mystic Cast Red. Sides have swapped once again. CB back on the blue side. They again did not wait for us to ready up, so draft has already begun. As Jarvan and Syndra, two very problematic champs from last game, have been banned away by the Queensguard, as Mystic Cats keeping up with the Briar and Gwen bans. As I guess it's just a hover. As I don't imagine, there's the Ash
There it is,
ban.
Ash. Wow,
A lot more
I'm actually
like-
surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're just
never
gonna
mind,
first
it's
pick
Ash.
Ash.
They're looking to first pick Ash.
Yeah,
As Diana banned away, B1 Ash right here,
I imagine so.
right there. Yep.
Pretty straightforward. I want to see what Miss Cass decided to do in spot lane. They opt to go for the Caitlyn.
Yeah, they're going with the same response they had last time. The Caitlyn pairing something up with it. They went with the Milio first time, did not find too much success with it. We'll have to see what their plan is. But to give everybody a quick update across the rest of BOL, congrats go to 8 Gaming. They were able to get themselves their first series win Nameless did end up FF in game number 2, so Cape Gaming come out with 2-0. CB and Mystic Cats are currently going to game number 3, as you see here, as are Ferox and TD. Well, SG and Rev are currently deep into game number 2. We do not have the results of that yet, as they are still playing. The Mystic Cats pick up their support once again. They're going to be picking Leona for Sword of Destiny.
Yeah, and this is actually going to have a lot more kill pressure than their first game, where they had the Caitlyn Milio. Queensguard looks like they are going to offer the Silas. Ooh. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a flex between top and mid, and hopefully not support.
I think that's going to be a jungle Silas.
It could be a jungle Silas as well.
I miss my dad plays a lot of Silas.
Oh,
jungle.
you're right. Does Juggernaut play Silas mid? So that could be.
I have no clue if he plays Silas mid.
Too.
But I'd imagine he does, because I don't think you'd pick it this early if it was just a blind.
Yeah. You definitely don't pick this early if you know it's going to be going into one specifically.
There's probably a support pick here, I'm guessing, as a response, but it is going to be the Ornn lock-in now for Stay Frosty. So that's top, also either jungle or mid, and then 80 carry locked in. The Mystic Cats just have that 80 carry support lock-in, and the response...
I mean, might as well take your top lane here.
Yeah, maybe just go back to the Rumble.
Which is very possible.
Poppy. Poppy locked in. Possibly heading top for Klugschreiber, possibly heading jungle for Pedestrian. Both are good options. Obviously, the big thing you want to look for Poppy is shutting down any dashes. You have Silas's Abscond Abduct, but also Poppy just a real strong champ all around. Mystic Cats banning out that Zyra, taking out that duo that they had to deal with in game number 1. Now Queensguard into the ban phase.
Yep, the Xerath is still available. I'm assuming he's gonna get banned out in this game by CB. Oriana's being taken out first. But I think they're debating on if they want to ban out like the Malphite or if they want to ban out the Xerath.
2 potential options. My guess is Mystic Cats here either show that that's a Poppy jungle and then grab their top laner as a response to Ornn. And that would be my opinion, is they probably show the Poppy hand.
I just realized they have a Silas. They're not going to ban Malphite.
Fair point. They're like, pick Malphite, we dare you.
Yeah.
My guess is they save Nate here for that R5. He's shown great composure in both games. Had phenomenal performances overall. Won both lanes. Yes, it didn't work out for him in game number 1. But he played really well on that Xerath. As the Yasuo banned away, they also think this could very well be that Silas heading towards the jungle. As Malzahar, nope, make that a Mumu, now banned away. Mystic Cats have the pick here. Top, jungle, mid. We're going to be looking at one of those 3 next.
It's the Rumble.
Is the Rumble once again answering up into Ornn. So that's going to be their Poppy, jungle, and Rumble top, leaving the mid counter pick for literally Nate. As Queensguard now has to show their hand if this is a Silas jungle or a Silas mid.
I assume it's a Silas jungle.
Yep. I'd agree with you.
But I'm curious to see what CB Queensguard. They're gonna go with the Taric.
Taric as their response into Leona down bot for L Sword, playing really defensive there. That is locked in the end. So they have a very defensive comp here between the Ornn and the Taric, while Silas really looking to be aggressive. Some pretty solid ult steal between the Solar Flare and that Eagle.
Yeah, right now, CB needs something that does quite a bit of damage in the mid lane. Well, if it's a Silas jungle.
Yep,
But
looking for a bit more of a damage source on the mid.
Did they go for an all like purple comp?
Oh, there's the Veigar locked in. That'll bring some damage and also some good CC mid. Merc Treads, once again, heavily incentivized here if you're the side of Mystic Cats Red. Leona and Poppy gonna love being able to grab that. As Mystic Cats now picking up the answer here into the Veigar, giving
Honestly,
literally Nate
Xerath looks
final
pretty
counter.
goddamn good.
That'd be really nice. Once again, we saw it game 1, not banned out. Banned out 2, not banned out here. Do they go back to the well? It's going to be the Anivia instead. Another control mage there, literally Nate.
Yeah, they were like, we're not gonna give Silas another steal, so go ahead and take mine. But just in general, it's gonna be super hard to actually siege against this Anivia, especially with the comp you have for Queensguard. you pretty much have to look for a fight or look for a kill onto Nivea. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to move closer to these turrets and be able to hit them.
So, Bully, you've seen both drafts. What are you liking overall? Whose are you favoring going into game one?
So, I don't want to talk about drafts. I want to talk about whoever gets the first war that gets a gold advantage because
The first bit of money in their pocket.
yep. I mean, that's 2-0. That's what happened.
Is
But
indeed 2-0.
so CBs, they're extremely tanky. A lot of CC. But they might be lacking in the damage department a little bit early on. They might not be able to get the priority that they need, and they might fall behind. We saw what Miscats were able to do with a little bit of lead. This Rumble, the Clutch Drivers Rumble, was filthy, and if he gets another lead, I expect Miscats Red just to play off of that, and kind of like what happened last game with Queensguard, it's like they kind of fell apart in mid, the early to mid game. So I want to see how Juggernaut bounces back after that second game, where they couldn't do a lot on the Zero. They ended up, I think they went 0-6-0. So it's going to be mainly playing off of what the CB team could do with these team fights, getting better macro play, because that's how they won game 1, and they need to do that again to win game 3.
Yeah. That will be interesting to see how these teams come out. Literally, Nate has been so important for the side of Mystic Cats. He's been where they've gotten a solid lead every game. Bug Schreiber on this Rumble found great success level 1 into level 3 last time, picking up 2 solo kills alongside killing the enemy jungler. I have a feeling Stay Frosty isn't going to try and fight him this early again. Now on the Ornn. But drafts are locked up. Who do you favor? Not in terms of drafts. Who do you think's taking this home in game number 3?
I mean, I took Miscats in game 2, so I think I have to take him in game 3. Regardless, I think Miscats, they just gave CB their first game loss. I think they're going to give them their first series loss of the season.
That'd be great to see. I'm excited to see if that's potentially the case. Despite it going wrong for me last time, I'm still going to be sticking with CB. I like what they have more this time, a better front line coming out in this Ornn, back on reliability with Ash for SL. And we'll have to see if that is enough. Now, they are having a bit of Wi-Fi issues. Elsword, unfortunately, did DC, so we're waiting for him to get back. But once that happens, we're going to head into the draft, head into spectator delay, and when we come back, we're going to be bringing you game number 3 of the night, final series, the final game of the series between CB Queensguard and Mystic Cats Red. into our final matchup of the night here. Game number 3 between CB Queensguard and Mystic Cats Red. We've seen back and forth action. Mystic Cats coming off a dominant game number 2 where they did hand Queensguard their first loss of the year. But you see a 5-stack already coming in from the Queensguard as they're looking to bring spice and action to this game.
Yeah, but it will be seen by Klugschreiber, so they wanted to try to knock him down early. That won't be the case.
Oh, hold on. All right, it's over. CB wins the game. They got the first ward. They got the first money.
True. Now you got a gold advantage of 5 gold. Actually, more than that. I mean, it held true for the first 2 games.
It has held true. We'll have to see if that continues to be the trend.
Then again, blue side also held true. So, I don't know what to tell you.
Good questions that I do not have an answer to at this moment. But we do see, once again, the 80 carry opposite of the Ashe running the cleanse. Ignite coming from Leona as expected. Same thing for Elsword. So aggressive supports, TPs for both mid laners this time. No Ignite kill threats, but both junglers running that Dark Harvest.
Yeah, we're gonna get some big damage with the Dark Harvest, but Pedestrian, I want to see what Pedestrian chooses to path, because it's a Poppy, has a very solid early gank with, it can force a flash very easily, but I assume I Miss My Dad is gonna go for like a full clear. Maybe they go for a cheese play with this red buff, but it does not look like it.
Not for it. Everybody just stepping up to farm at the moment. Sword of Destiny looking to get this level 2. Threatening all in. Looks like the side of CB's trying to get it first. They do not. There's the Dazzle coming up from Elsword. Zenith Blade will not land from Sword of Destiny. It means that there is no all in, but Elsword really chunked low.
Yeah, Elsword made a small mistake there and allowed Sword of Destiny and Howard to actually get level 2 because they're both hitting the minions. Elsword was getting ready to get that level 2 and just didn't happen.
Yep, and with that, it meant the fact that Power and Sword of Destiny were punching those minions, getting it first, while only Isel was trying to force it for the side of Queensguard, which meant that the Cats were able to take that early cryo, get the early level 2 advantage, and get the early damage out onto Elsword.
Yeah, but you see the side of CB, they're running Quadra Biscuits, so the only person on their team that doesn't have the biscuit is going to be I Miss My Dad. So
You get a biscuit. You get a biscuit. Everybody gets a biscuit.
Yeah, do you remember when those biscuits could be sold for like quite a bit of?
Oh, that was so stupid. When they could be sold for like a lot of money.
Yeah, it was
and
like
now they can only be sold for I think 5 gold each.
Yeah, I think it was like, what was it, like 20 gold, 40 gold, or something like that? It was just like absurd.
Like 25.
Yeah.
Each. Something like that. Now Howard and Sword of Destiny getting the bot cryo, looking to get possible vision, drop it in the river, trying to keep an eye on wherever I Miss My Dad might be. But right now, Pedestrian onto this top scuttle while I Miss My Dad, focusing onto his ground.
Yep,
and is picked up. Pedestrian heads down. Nate, good stun there off the Flash Frost, throws out the Frostbite. Good damage with the electric.
Yeah, and I Miss My Dad is on the top side. Knowing the scuttle's taken, it's going to take a reset. No point in really ganking Klugschreiber, as Klug probably get out without even needing to blow their summoners. So Pedestrian is just going to be able to double scuttle in this game.
Yeah, Pedestrian in a really good spot right now in this Poppy. Double scuttles, heads down, bot. Stays out of vision. They have an idea of where he was, though, because they pinged him on that initial ward by mid lane, and they do have this ward out by the Tribush as a way to try and spell him out. But Klug, really chunky out to stay frosty right now. And to Klugschreiber, or however you want to pronounce your name, I apologize if it is wrong. I'm not more characters, but that's a trap stepped on by Elsword.
It's a trap line right there. Elsword's gonna go
I'm
down.
not gonna be able to catch by the Dazzle, and the Ignite from Leona will take him down. The Flash in with the Zenith Blade, with the Shield of Daybreak gets the stun, but I Miss My Dad is here. There's the follow up, and here comes Pedestrian, forces the Flash away, forces the Abscond away. I Miss My Dad, and that is first blood going the way of Mystic Cats, and jungle pathing known for both sides as well as summoners off of a cell.
Sword of Destiny
Hold on,
goes
Zenith
in.
Blade will land. Shield of Daybreak is able to dash away. Sword of Destiny really looking to be oppressive.
Yeah, and unfortunately that kill does go to Sword of Destiny, so it's not like a lot of gold going after Howard, but still first blood, getting this push into the CB bot lane is going to be pretty solid. Oh, Howard will need to
Bad
flash,
looking
yeah.
coming into Howard, forces out his flash. So I Miss My Dad does wrap back around and is able to salvage something out of this gang.
It's not just that,
I
it's
miss
going to
my-
force a
Shot
bad
though,
recall for
dropping
Howard,
out.
or not recall at all.
Drops out the red carpet, pushes in this lane, trying to push in. We do see that early Negatron by Stay Frosty to try and equalize the lane, to try not take much damage. As he is falling behind in CS just a little bit, we do see though the Glacial Storm drop, Juggernaut forced to walk out of it, and Mystic Cat's in a really solid position right now.
Yeah, and a big thing right there is Excel and Elsword decided to go into the river, and that could have been a bad back timing for Excel, as they couldn't really punish the fact that Howard couldn't take a back when they really wanted to. So Howard's just going to be able to collect this wave, and it's going to be able to take a back without losing a lot of CS.
Elsword throws out the Dazzle, not going to catch anything. The wall comes out. Zenith Blade follow up into that freeze of the Glacial Storm. Pedestrian coming in, gets stopped by that event horizon.
Wait.
Nope's gonna duck, flash over the wall, chases in with a heroic charge, and that buckler with that hammer shock is enough to take down Elsword, forcing I Miss My Dad to flash over the wall. Another kill comes for the Mystic Cats as Pedestrian picks up his first.
Yeah, in that time, actually, Howard could not take it back again. So still sitting on the Doran sword, and it's just going to be them taking Dragon, but you know, they currently have about 1,900 gold in their bank account, so they need to go back, spend that money, so they could keep pushing this lead that they have in the bot lane.
And that's the first Dragon now going over to the side of the Mystic Cats. Both previous games, it has gone the way of CB. Question is, what else can they do on this map, though?
It's gonna be difficult. And top lane already is
Tower now
ATTS.
finally gets his back.
Sword of
but
Destiny's in a bad
Destiny
spot.
walking through lane. Nobody to follow him up. Gets dazzled, gets slowed, and Acel picks up free money as Sword of Destiny just out of position.
That is a very, very big mistake right there, as you know, you're just giving away free gold when you really didn't need to do anything right there. You could just gone safe way, you could gone under tower, but you just end up walking into the lane without any kind of support, and you just decide to die.
Being taken by Klug, but he is spotted out by this pink ward Juggernaut in the area, and here comes the collapse of the rest of the team. Call the force out, coming in Scon, flash into the event horizon, Abduct gets that stun, gets the Kingslayer, and the autos get I Miss My Dad his first kill on the board.
Yep, and not just that, Cloakstriper ended up using the flash right there, and it was just flashed into the event horizon as well. So a lot of ultimates used there, but they were able to get I Miss My Dad a kill. So pretty worth.
Absolutely was worth, as you mentioned. Right now, Howard is farming away, but is caught by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Will the minions make it in time? They do make it, so they are not taking the tower shot. But there's the Dazzle, gets the slow from the Glacial onto Sword of Destiny. Acel gets the slows off his autos, forces Sword of Destiny in. The Ignite comes into Howard, forces him away. Meanwhile, Pedestrian is caught in the event horizon up top, trying to walk away. Juggernaut will find him with a baleful strike across the map. Goes the way of CB Queensguard. Everything coming up them.
Yeah, it seemed like just a domino effect just happened. Bot lane started with Sword of Destiny just running into the bot lane of CB, and then getting caught in the river was Cloakstriper. And it's just back and forth, and right now we're looking at a CB gold lead when, you know, the early game started very well for Miscats.
Definitely did, but just a reminder, game one was close until the side of Queensguard were able to start to take over around those objective fights. We'll have to see if that's the way this continues, as when Mystic Cats really took over the game, they did it from level 1 onward. They never let up on the gas. Right now, the side of CB has a way into this game.
Yeah, and now, you know, on the bright side, Cloakstriper is about, you know, 31 CS ahead of Stay Frosty. The bad side is that if you're not facing an Ashe that has 2 kills, a Veigar that's ahead, and then a Silas that's pretty strong as well. So, a little bit of misplays going on, but there is a way to make this game still winnable. It's not like it's lost already, but now it's time to make sure you don't get caught out in bad places.
If team fights are really going to see make or break occurrences, we're gonna have to keep our eye on Elsword. But hold on, in comes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Flash, try and land the Dazzle, but there is no fall. Elsword is low. Good Zenith Blade keeps a cell away from the AD carry. Howard lives with a sliver of HP, but there's the knockup off that Keeper's Verdict. Heroic Charge is not going to get anything. There is the Equalizer, gets the slow, gets the burn, but Pedestrian's looking to continue the chase. There is the Flash Frost.
Pedestrian.
The Glacial Storm will take it down. There comes
Wait, Elsword is going to die here.
the Cosmic Radiance, but the Zenith Blade under the tower. Sword of Destiny keeps him in place, and the tower proves to be MVP. The bot side of Queensguard is too aggressive, and Sword of Destiny makes him pay.
Yeah, they went for a dive there. It's just not paying out. And just like that, Miscats pick up 2 kills. Just with a very aggressive play in the mid lane. I thought Juggernaut was somehow gonna turn that around, but it was close.
Looked like he had the potential there, but a good Flash Frost out of literally Nate means that they are able to just lock them down and get the kill in the end. And once again, this game is extremely close. Power, though, stepping up. I miss my dad in the bushes, waiting for his opportunity to strike.
Yeah, Howard does have Flash, but honestly, I don't think it's going to...
Howard's in trouble. Abscond.
Oh, wait.
Abduct goes wide. Flash away by Howard. Uses the 90 caliber net to get out to safety. Steals the ace in the hole. Not going to be able to get anything off of it, as Pedestrian is in the area to block if need be. Meanwhile, up top, Plugstrider's looking to get on the Frosty, but here comes the call to forward gun. Elsword coming in for the follow-up. The Dazzle gets the stun, and the autos are coming down. The Overheat looking to trade back, but Stay Frosty will live, as that is Elsword coming in clutch to the side of Queensguard.
Yeah, and that's a roam coming out from Elsewhere to the top lane. So, you know, we saw this in game 1 where Excel was able to play basically by themselves in the bot. Oh, wait.
Pedestrian, though, looking to go into
the Pedestrian just canceled the auto attack 3
canceling
times.
all the Buckler autos. Flash in, tries to land.
Wait, Pedestrian press W!
But, oh, they got up the Howard! Could have shot a duck, he's not there. Acela is just gonna throw in the autos out. Kills 2. He's looking at a Sword of Destiny now, and that is going to be a third falling, a triple kill for Isel, and that will break this bot lane open. 5-0 on this Ashe.
Yeah, I would say that was an aggressive play, which it was, but just very poorly played by Mysticats right there, and they just gave away free kills. Excel is now 5-0 this champion. I think he's just getting free kills as bad just from wherever, honestly, but Klugschreiber is still doing pretty solid on top side, but this bot side is crumbling.
Absolutely is crumbling. And it looked like they were trying to get onto I Miss My Dad, but the abscond abduct onto Howard meant that he chunked him out so low, especially with that Night Harvester finish. It meant that Acel just got the free kill, and they were able to just turn onto the no damage threats of a Poppy and a Leona. But hold on, there's the Dazzle on the Sword of Destiny. He's looking to get onto Acel now.
Yeah, Sword of Destiny
walk away. The slow is just there, though. The Dazzle stun comes out. The Solar Flare is not going to buy you enough space. Sword of Destiny falls 6-0 Ashe. But hold on, Frosty's in trouble up here as in comes Pedestrian. Heroic Charge is not necessary as the beautiful Steadfast Presence stops Searing Charge. And that means Frosty falls, Plugschreiber gets back onto the board, gets some more. But this is the story of the CB bot lane right now.
Yeah, I mean, Sword of Destiny keeps getting caught in some really poor places, and I mean, it's showing it. They're 2-4 right now. They got 2 of the kills, and it's not like Howard got the kills to get enough damage to trade back. So it's just going all into Excel's pocket with you know, just basically being handed kills. I want to see a big move.
Excel has 2K in the bank right now to spend.
Yeah, I want to see a big move to try to shut down this Ashe, because they need to get that done quickly, or just this game is just going to fall apart for Miscats.
650 gold bounty available if they can get that into one of the carries' pockets. That is so impactful.
They have the tools to do it. They have the Solar Flare. They have a lot of lockdown, and they just need to make sure when they do it, they can't over aggress on that play, because if they do, you would imagine the Goon Squad from CB will come down and pretty much clean up the fight.
That'll be where we're looking to focus come these fights. Isel is that threat, is the powerhouse for the side of Queensguard right now. Also thrown out the dazzle to just force Pedestrian away from this arrow as I Miss My Dad is calling for it, wants to start it up.
Yeah, Pink's coming out for this Rift Herald, but you know, for Riskats, they probably cannot contest this. You're just not strong enough at this point, especially because you know you're looking to scale just a little bit. You don't have enough CC, or not enough damage to back up the CC that you have this early on, especially because you know you're gonna have to face against the Veigar, you're gonna have to face against the Silas, who will probably take the Equalizer. So, it's a good call to not go for that Rift.
Really was decided instead to just focus on farm, try and get themselves any sort of gold. Themselves somewhere back in the game. They're only down 3k right now. And I want to say almost all of that lead, 2k of that lead right now is just on it.
Yeah, and the rest of that is pretty much spread with all three members. But yeah, taking down Excel takes a lot of gold off the map, and that's where you have your chance to win. If you catch Excel out, you can pretty much win a team fight.
Really can, and right now we'll have to keep our eyes out. Minute 40 until the next dragon spawn. Solo lanes still performing pretty well for the side of Mr. Cats right now. Oog overheats, a bit of pushing, trying to get on to Stay Frosty, looking to take down this tower.
And Clutch
low.
Oh.
But mid lane, Sword of Destiny gets caught again. Elsewhere looking to dive down, but he does make it into the Cosmic Radiance in the end, thanks to some help there. But Elsewhere,
wait, Excel's taking tower.
Excel not able to step up. Cosmic Radiance buys time. Ace in the hole, gonna chunk Excel out and force them away. An over-aggressive dive by the side of Queensguard costs them their support's life.
Yeah, and you know, Excel is still very, very low, so they're gonna need to take a back here, but somewhat of a win.
Absolutely.
I would have got the kill. I would say, yeah. I think Howard got the kill on that one too, so pretty huge for them.
Well, and I Miss My Dad stepping up here. If Nate comes too far, Scon throws out the baby cage of duck. It's in, pops the egg. They're about to make an omelet here, as you gotta break a few eggs first. And Scon the duck means that
the primordial burst was
used to finish it up.
Kill Nate with 100 health, but it is good timing because the Ocean Dragon is coming up in 16 seconds, so that cannot be a good fight for Miscats to take without their mid laner. So
also,
that
though, a bit overstepping here, throws out the dazzle, sidestep by Pedestrian. Elsewhere walking into the bush to.
Oh, it looks like they're actually going to contest this now because.
TP's coming in all around.
It's going to be dangerous.
And Elsewhere just wave at each other, decide to walk away. Blue, though,
they have the TP for Nate, so they can enter this fight, but they need to stall it out to the point where.
Question
they
is if they want to.
They need to get to a good position where they can kill Excel.
Really available aside from that call to forge out. Baby Cage gonna force him out. Looks like the Prio right now is on the mid.
Oh, but yeah, they're just gonna give this dragon up. They're just gonna push out mid.
My dad. Like you said, it looks like they're just gonna give up this dragon.
I think that was a good call. You don't really want to walk into their comp because they do have the Taric, they do have the Infinite Horizon, they have Crystal Arrow, they have a lot of ways to just kill whoever walks in first, and you're not going to be able to get to the target with who you want.
We'll have to see what more comes out of it come these late game fights. First tower was taken topside by the Rumble. Good chunk coming out by Nate. Juggernaut caught in that Glacial Storm. Right now, everything really feels like it's going the way of CB. Control 2 dragons to 1, about a 2k gold lead. Cassell 6-0-0, 700 gold down. He is a.
Oh, Pedestrian is in an interesting spot right there.
That is in the area. Scond of Duck catches onto him. The chase is continuing. Glacial Storm trying to peel, steals away that prime. Steals away that, but a beautiful enchanted crystal arrow. Pedestrian trying to buy space for his mid laner, but not going to be able to do so, as that is just enough damage to come out thanks to a long range stun by SL.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, this is the longest laning phase I've ever seen. We're 20 minutes in the game, we still have everyone in their respective lanes. So,
yeah.
no one really wants to get out of it, which is actually more of a hindrance of.
From Pedestrian, able to pop that and walk away as the Abscond Abduct does not hit, but it looks like I Miss My Dad and Juggernaut just trying to retreat. Juggernaut just going to, he's just going to back there in the wolf pit. I Miss My Dad, not even worried in the slightest. Smooth criminal gets out to safety.
Yeah, what I was saying is this is actually really poor, bad for Miscats because they want to kind of lock the Leona. They don't want the Leona to just be bot lane the entire game, right? So making that transition of having bot lane going to mid lane will allow Leona to move more freely across the map and making more plays with that solar flare, looking more plays for the engagements with the Poppy. But instead, they're kind of like locked into the bot lane, and at 20 minutes, it's not something you really want to do.
20 minutes, this gold lead has ballooned to about 4K right now, all for the side of Queensguard. I have to see what they're able to do with this advantage as they try and continue to keep the lead going. And speaking of a lead, it continues to grow as ornaments are now online. The Unspoken Parasite has been picked up here.
Oh.
Lens forced out there onto Howard means that next enchanted crystal arrow proved even more deadly.
I mean, Juggernaut has the fully stacked Rod of Ages, has the fully stacked Seraph, so they're very dangerous Vega right now. And right now, it feels like Miscats are playing a little bit reactively right now. They can't really do much. They're looking for the picks, but they're just getting pushed in all waves. And
literally, Nate may be in trouble here. We see 4 members topside. Nate flashed onto, but the dazzle means the enchanted crystal arrow goes wide. Nate flashes away and will get out to sea. Trades his flash for Elsword. Nothing else cost it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of members of CB are up here just trying to get this tower. But on the flip side, you see 4 up top. You couldn't make the play onto Juggernaut to try to get his shutdown, and just it's unfortunate because
22-minute Baron call.
Oh yeah, it is.
Already.
But it's actually gonna be sought out, I think. When you see that word
like
over the pit,
yeah. And the vision has spotted.
There's no way they try to finish this, right?
They are trying to finish this. They're looking to continue to pull the trigger. Tilt over Peacemaker doing big damage.
Oh,
double knock away by Pedestrian. They're on to Elsword. TP comes in by Clue, and Elsword is just chunked out instantly. And this means that the side of Mystic Cats, what is their call? Do they try and peel off the Baron? Or they look
no, they can't. It healed immediately.
Now. They say, okay,
but,
we got our pick, we're leaving. And
yeah,
TP, but a kill also goes the way of the Mystic Cats.
If they were able to like stop the Baron from regenning, that Baron was pretty much almost dead.
They're looking to force the mid lane tower here. Equalizer comes
I've
out
seen this before, but on the other side.
Stepping up too far though. The stolen Equalizer comes out. The tower is taken. Solar Flare tries to disengage, but that is 2 members already falling to the side of Mystic Cat. Ornn going in, Plume force to flash away. Frosty goes in for the auto. He's trying to.
Oh, Howard does not do any damage.
Does not do damage right now. He's got a noon quiver and a dream as Frosty will just laugh at the damage coming his way.
Yeah, Howard was just using a BB gun trying to kill Frosty. Frosty was just laughing in their face. But yeah, it's just not an item completed for Howard. And at 23 minutes or 24 minutes, that is very, very dangerous. By dangerous, I mean very sad.
Board for the side of Queensguard. Looks like they're just going to right on board of this. And they looked like there was some potential there. They got the pick onto Elsword, and they tried to focus onto the tier Pedestrian, over-aggressive, diving the tower, trying to get onto I Miss My Dad more.
Oh, there's a Baron call happening right now.
There is a Baron call happening right now. As Pedestrian and Co are saying, we're behind. We need to do something. The question is, do the side of CB scout this out? Isel is backing. There's a no.
It's getting pinged out right now.
Onto this Baron. It is being pinged out. The Scryer spots it out. The Isel cancels the back. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow is coming out over the top. Does land onto Pedestrian, but this is being burned down fast. Keeper's Verdict is channeled. Knockaway comes in onto Elsword.
That's gonna be gone. Now they just need to get out. They just don't need to fight. They just need to gotta run.
Baron buffs away as much as possible. I Miss My Dad gets the stun slow. Sword of Destiny will sacrifice his life to get his team out to safety as they are running for the hills, trying to get away with this heist. But Stay Frosty wants more. The chase is continuing. They are under the tower, though. They are content. But so
Wait a minute,
goes
Frosty!
in. He gets stuck by the keepers, by the steadfast presence, and he's taken down. Elsword's now in trouble too. CB pushed their aggression too hard. That's Elsword down. I miss my dad goes in, misses the abscond abduct. He may be next in line, though. Pedestrian's looking to continue the chase, but that is 2 kills, and the Baron, this may be a 3rd kill, as there's the stun into the wall by I miss my dad. Keeper's very channeled.
I miss my dad's gonna go down as a shutdown.
Down. CB oversteps, overforces, and Mystic Cats turns a Baron into Baron +3.
Yeah, and the fortunate part is if only Excel stepped up there, then this game would have been a lot closer, but still a 4K gold lead for CB, but a major throw for CB as well, and there's life for the Mystic Cats.
Absolutely life for the Mystic Cats. Baron buff now online lets them push out these waves, get much needed gold in their pockets, and those were such important kills up top side that showed, hey, if they overstep, we can win these fights. And you gotta think CB's kicking themselves for this. They were in the driver's seat, and it may not be wide open yet, but they just opened a window for Mystic Cats to get back into this game.
Yeah, but on the flip side, it's still an Ornn giving free items at level 14, and it's still a Veigar that's continuously stacking. So it's still a steep climb for the Mystic Cats to make a big comeback in this game.
First wall comes out, double stun from me! Solar Flare
Shut
off the top!
down!
That's his cell down! That is Elsword falling next. 2 kills instantly in the mid lane. Sword of Destiny tanking the tower. The knock comes. I miss my dad, missed the abscond abduct. There's the stun into the wall by Pedestrian. They're on him, I miss my dad. There's the stun off the Frostfire, and that's a headshot from Hauer as Mystic Cats has blown this game wide open. Pedestrian
Wait, did I say
gets the
4K
stun
gold
into the
lead?
wall. Juggernaut
I
is
meant
stunned. Juggernaut
Mystic Cats
pop.
are in
Juggernaut
the
is
lead.
down. Gold lead be damned. Mystic Cats is taking this to the bank. Stay Frost is trying to get on the Klug, but he will walk away in the middle of that equalizer, backing in towards the wave, and suddenly
That's gonna be a
things are
double
looking
inhib.
very, very good for the Mystic Cats.
Alright, you gotta back off now. You're really low, Klug. Oh no,
Oh,
Klug.
Klug getting slowed up by a salary
Wait.
pop and goes continue the shield, but the
Wait.
ace in the hole up top. Frosty plays the hero, searing charge in to save the day.
Man, that climb was very easy. They had an elevator. They just brought that from 4K to actually being in the lead by 1K in a matter of seconds.
That all started off with a beautiful crystallized wall from Nate, set up the double solar flare in the middle of the glacial storm, and they were just able to shut down Isel instantly. And without their 80 carry there, that is the biggest threat from CB Gold.
Yeah, and now we see Howard actually doing quite a bit of damage with 2 items, 2.5 items actually, and now it's like the entire Miscats yet again are a big threat to damage. We see Pedestrian making the plays. We see Klugshire doing a ton of damage. We see Nate hitting these stuns and just absolutely exploding one of these squishy carries. So, you know, in a game where CB was pretty much gonna win 90% of the time, they're now in the back seat and letting Miscats drive this car.
40 seconds, 30 seconds now until this dragon. Pedestrian steps up, gets stunned up by the Dazzle. In comes the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, lands onto him. Elsword gets the stun. Pedestrian is chunked out. That is the jungler gone. Objective control is gone. Chase coming up from I Miss My Dad. Flash in, Solar Flare, lands onto 2. Nate and Sword of Destiny are in trouble. The stopwatch will not lost you your life there. The egg will be caught, and what looked like some hope for Mystic Cats is crushed in an instant by Queensguard as they pick the jungler and set themselves up for an Ocean Soul.
Yeah, and I guess Miss Cats just told him, never mind, you got it. But Stay Frosty taking quite a bit of damage here.
Is pushed out in the cell now with I Miss My Dad and Elsword. Control this dragon. Will secure themselves to the soul.
Oh.
Klug forced to flash away, scared of being knocked up under that tower in solo.
That's actually a big flash to burn
That's
because
a
Klug,
massive
with that flash, could have jumped onto Excel at any time. But now without that that summoner, it's gonna be a lot harder just to use the flame spitter on this 80 carry.
All right, Estelle. We had a one-sided game 1 for Queensguard. We had a one-sided game 2 for Mystic Cats Red. We got a game here for game number 3. As this is absolutely open, both teams looking to capitalize on any small mistake by their opponents. Baron up in 30 seconds. That is both teams' focus right now, looking to peel away and get any sort of edge in this game. Gold
Yeah,
lead,
I mean, this game,
1K
gold
right
lead might
now.
look close, but
Soul.
you gotta take into fact that there's a soul, there's
Juggernaut's
ornaments.
shown on the ward. He's stepping
Oh!
up too far. He's got for the heroic charge. Soulfur goes wide, buys his time with the baby cage, but he is chunked out, and Juggernaut tries to blast one away and does not escape in the end, though, as headshots coming out. Power does secure the kill in the end with Pedestrian. That is the mid laner of Queensguard down. Baron on the board. The traps are coming out. They're setting up control. They want to start this Baron up.
Why did it take like 10 hours to kill that Veigar?
Ocean Soul plus a Seraph Shield.
Plus theirs, plus a lot of health, but
All right, we're into this choke point. We see the stolen stolen equalizer available for I Miss My Dad if you want to drop it. Veigar has TP. The real equalizer.
oh wait, Excel's on the
knocked
wrong
away
side.
on the Frosty, but he knocks him out of the equalizer. Excel is just running, and it looks
That's
like
gonna force the
side of
ghost
Mystic
out.
Catfish is just trying to buy time. They're waiting for their mid laner to respawn because he has TP available.
But look at the
back into
base.
this fight.
Super
Like
minions
you mentioned,
are gonna
look at
hit the
base.
towers.
Supers are clearing out down bot. The double inhibitor being down is so dangerous as those
Oh, I Miss My Dad has the equalizer.
coming.
That's
Stolen equalizer
very,
is
very dangerous.
still available. We'll have to see what comes in. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out. No Ornn ulti over the top. He misses it. The Cosmic Radiance so full by so much invulnerability, and that's plugged down instantly. Pedestrian is next on the list as well as Sword of Destiny, and that's 3 of Mystic Cats down in an instant as the rest of Mystic Cats trying to escape with their lives. Nate on the wrong side of the map, gonna walk it out, try and go down towards the base, as this will be the Baron going the way of Queensguard.
Blue team's inhibitors
Oh,
respond soon.
yeah, and just like that, the gold lead is now... this game was looking like Miss Cats was going to take it, but then a small misstep in the mid lane. CB is taking back the lead. They have the Baron. They got the Soul. They have a lot of ornaments onto their name, and all they need to do is walk this in. They have so much damage. I think the Veigar is actually at 1,300. Let's take a look here. Oh, only at 1,085. That's not a lot of AP.
Only over 1,000 AP. That's not enough at all. But as you mentioned, this game was all Queensguard for a bit, and then the Baron steal with the overforced top lane alongside that mid lane push put Mystic Cats back in the driver's seat, but some over-aggressive plays around the Dragon and around the Baron means that Queensguard now back in control as the Soul has a 5k gold lead as well. Elder Dragon 2 minutes away. You have to think that's the game.
You think it's a game, but I don't think CB's even going to force it. There's no point to. You don't want to. You don't want a 50-50 yet. You don't want to, like, basically give Miss Cats a chance to come back in this game yet again. So CB know they're the stronger fight right now. They have the Ornn. They're absolutely tanky. They have Juggernaut, who's very strong. And Excel is 11-1 right now. So why risk the Elder when you can literally just win the game?
Equalizer drop, just trying to clear waves, buy time, wait out this Baron buff as much as possible, but we do see Juggernaut coming down bot, pushing with this wave, looking to get onto the open inhibitor, trying to force supers into the base.
Oh!
Hold on, there's mid. Channeled, good knockaway by the Keeper's Verdict, buys Pedestrian space, Juggernaut sidesteps a Flash Frost, Nate instantly chunked by that Baleful Strike. And we can see the scaling of CB online here. And this, my dad.
These turrets are just dropping so fast.
The inhibitor has fallen next. They're looking to step up here. They're pivoting down towards this bot lane inhibitor. You gotta think one wrong step from the side of Mystic Cats spells the end as they're looking to push in. They still have the Baron buff up for a bit longer. Power trying to clear this minion.
Oh!
He's caught by the event. He's caught by the event horizon. Sword of Destiny next, stunned up, taken down by those baleful strikes, and that is Pedestrian next. Equalizer comes over the top,
and that has to be it.
Cell takes him down. Call the Forge God will spell the demise of the Mystic Cats. You may double stopwatch that, but this is just game here. Abscond, abduct, spells, Howard's death, Mystic Cats. You had a chance. You were so close. Queensguard remains undefeated in match score.
Yeah, but what a close game. We saw. I want to. I expect this to be a playoff series at some point
We
because
will
Mystic Cats.
see both of these teams again for absolute certainty.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think in the middle of this game, Miscats got their way back in basically by being as a 5-man unit. The minute they got caught out, uh, as only 4 without the Rumble, is where CB was able to get their lead again and then get that Ocean Soul. We saw at game 1 where the Soul kind of forced Miscat's hand. In this game, it yet again was their demise. Yes, they had a couple dragons themselves, but in the end, after that Soul was taken by CB, it felt like Miscats had 0 shot in any of those fights.
Yeah, this was a hell of a game 3, back and forth. Both teams had potential moments to take it, had some throws. These teams absolutely gave it their all tonight, and I expect we'll see much more of them going forward. And coming forward, I expect both these teams to show up come playoffs. Juggernaut had a rough showing in games 1 and 2. This Vagar came to play in game 3, and to sell on the cash, took the early lead, ran with it, never left.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings. Do you have any last words?
I just got to give props to both these teams. Mystic Cats in particular have made a lot of progress all around. We saw them come in with a different squad last year, have a rough go, come back, new squad, new lineup, and ever since they've established this 5-man of Pedestrian, of Fate, of Power, and of Sword of Destiny, they've looked phenomenal all around. They are absolutely competing as one of the top teams here in BOL right now, and they just had to show out and perform, even if they came out short.
Yeah. And looks like, if you want to give the updates to other matches, it looks like we did have some bangers.
Yep, bangers all around, as you mentioned. Ferox continues their 3-game series streak. Does come out on top over TD Daggers, though. So we have a lot of teams now at 2 wins all around. And let's see if I can get a quick update on the Rev versus SG series. They're currently in their 3rd game as well. Still pretty early, though. 3-2 in terms of kills, but a very solid goal to be going the way of Rev right now. So we'll have to see if that's what ends up coming out. But anything you want to say tonight, Bully?
Nope, that's it, man. That was a great series. Glad if we picked this one to stream.
Absolutely, that was phenomenal play all around from both teams. Thank you, Bully, for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you, Sawyer, for running our production tonight. This stream wouldn't happen without you. Very thankful to have you here with us tonight. Shout outs to Mystic Cats. Shout out to CB for giving us a hell of a series to cast tonight. Both these teams giving their alls. I expect to see more from both of you in the future. I look forward to casting more of both of you. Thank you to Coachify for making all this possible, for the sponsors, and go check them out, coachify.gg. Sign up is absolutely free. But yeah, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. BOL will be back on Saturday. I believe that is Diamond. Don't quote me on that. But with all that, we're done here tonight. I hope you have a great night.